All I had to say is that shit is live. Y'all
We
froze froze in the mud. All right, welcome guys. We are back at it at the Misinformed Podcast. I've got three lovely ladies. It's gonna be an amazing episode. Yeah, it's Friday. She just drove down from Tennessee. Well, they did.
Yes.
Prada just drove from down the street.
I did.
You know, and they wouldn't. We're here. They wouldn't rather be anywhere else but with your boy Brian.
Exactly.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna start off, kick this off. We're gonna introduce ourselves. Like I said earlier, name, if you want to, age, what you do, career and occupation, where'd you go to college, and your status, single, in a relationship, taking applications, or building a roster. Okay. We're gonna start with you first.
We're gonna start with me.
Okay.
So I'm Desi. I'm a manager at the work.
Okay.
I'm 23.
Okay, young bull.
I didn't go to college. Graduated high school, and I'm definitely single and taking applications.
Okay. Now, where are you from?
I love that for you.
I'm from Sweetwater, Tennessee.
Sweetwater, Tennessee. Okay.
Yes, very country.
Is that where the beer is from? Like the brewery?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I just made that shit up. Okay. All right.
For sure.
All right, go ahead.
I go. I'm English. I'm 33.
Damn.
Woo. I know I don't look it, but I am.
No, she look like a kid, y'all. No cap.
My birthday's actually this month. Shout out to me.
Oh, snap. Okay.
What was the next question?
So name, age,
Occupation.
Occupation.
I am a catering manager that I work from home that I've been doing for 11 years, but I'm actually trying to get into the personal training business. Shout out to Brian.
Okay. Yeah.
Slowly working my way into that.
She is.
Okay.
I helped Desi train a little bit,
She
so
does
I'm
train me.
getting started.
Okay. I like to hear that.
College education, I have a bachelor's degree.
What'd you major in?
Basic studies.
Okay. That's a major?
Yes.
It's called basic studies?
Basic studies.
What makes it basic?
Just your basic learning studies, right?
Okay. Where do you go in? Where do you go where do you go after a basic study degree?
I think really anywhere, because at this point I don't think a lot of jobs require much in college anymore.
When you say anywhere, so if I can go to, like, hey, I got my basic degree, can I apply at Merrill Lynch? Okay, so literally. Damn. So, okay.
Because I just
There's no
feel
specialty?
No, I don't feel
So
like
it's
jobs really require much of that anymore.
but from a school standpoint, is it a major?
No, I guess not. It's just your basic, what you can get to get a bachelor's.
Okay,
it's your
gotcha.
basic standard.
So you didn't have a specific
Well, I was
major.
trying to go into
I'll be grilling on here.
Yeah,
I'll be
clearly
grilling.
we're
Yeah.
still talking about me.
Yeah, we want to know.
So we getting into
The
it.
people want to know.
I forgot what I was doing, but I kind of got out of that, and I just finished with basics because I didn't go into it in full detail. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So.
And y'all, we got a birthday in the house. Let's go ahead and hold on. I got something here for her. Where is it at? Guys, we got a birthday in the house.
Shout out to you, Prada.
Let's go. Okay, so
Oh. That's too short for 38.
yeah, okay. I double up.
Happy birthday, Prada.
Prada is her birthday. The one and only, all-time favorite at the studio. Top 2, and she ain't number 2.
Oh, wow. That's it.
One of the most athletic, sweetest, nicest, swaggy. She's so swaggy, they don't even call her by her name. They call her by the designer.
That's it. So,
Okay.
period.
I wasn't expecting this intro.
One of my favorite people on this planet. I'm going to go ahead and let her take it from here. That's a nice little intro, right?
That was really nice.
Shout out to Prada. Happy birthday to Prada. Let's go.
That was so kind.
So who are you?
My name is Anna, even though I'm known affectionately as Prada.
Let's go.
At the gym, it's my
Now tell us the
Instagram
story.
handle.
Why do they call you Prada?
So I'm a dentist.
Okay.
If you've ever seen the movie The Devil Wears Prada,
Yes.
it's kind of a play on that. I love designers. To me, it's like wearing art. You know, and
You're
Prada
creative.
is one of them.
Love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're creative.
I'm creative in the mouth. I'm creative
Let's
with my
go.
clothing. Like, it's just part of my persona.
I hear that. Can you draw? Do you sing? I mean,
I'm a violinist.
really?
Oh,
you know,
wow.
I'm a cellist.
Are you?
I played the cello my
Can we do
entire
a duet?
for sure.
The
Talk
next
about it.
pod.
Yes.
We skip the talking.
Yeah, fuck the
just
table.
music.
Drop the
music.
treble.
That's it.
Let's ride.
That's
Oh
it.
yeah. No, I don't own a cello, but I can rent one.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That is really dope.
Yeah. No, my parents forced me when I was in high school to stay, and I had to either pick strings or like a band, and I just picked.
Cello.
I picked strings, but I wanted to play the violin because I thought it was cooler because this was hot.
Yeah.
And then I was just kind of big to be holding that thing, and they just put me on cello, and I got really good at it.
Really?
I could totally see that.
I got so good at it, and
Yeah.
I
Is
started doing like
Is that the big one?
No, that's the bass. The one, the cello's the one when you sit down and you like play it like that.
Okay.
How long has it been since you played it?
Man, years.
But you think you could pick up?
it's
No
like
question.
riding a
He
bike.
said
No
no,
question.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah, we definitely can sharpen up our. I'm gonna go get a cello, man, because it's I do miss it, and I guess back then like all I wanted to do was like go play outside and ride my mongoose and shit like that. But then like as you get older, like my parents had me in piano, my parents had me in cello, so like those music they're dead. Like I don't know one human that plays a piano, any type of music strings.
But I'll
I
tell you
can
what.
play the piano a little
Can
bit.
you? So I love when there's a good Christmas party and you just pull up and everybody's just kind of hitting the note and you go down there, hit a little Mozart and everybody like,
Like,
and all the girls
you
is like,
doing
oh, what's his number? Who cheats more, men or women? And why do you feel that way? And we're going to start off with Prada.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Going right into it. So how do you feel, Prada?
By the way, I think did you ask me how old I was?
Oh, yeah. I did. If you wanted to say.
I'm 38.
She's 38. Prada's 38.
Oh, yeah, the birthday girl.
Okay, 38 birthday. We're going to clap
And I'm a
it up.
dentist, by the way.
And
I
she,
don't know
look
if
at
I
those
said
teeth, y'all.
that.
Go ahead and smile into the camera one time.
Beautiful smile.
If y'all aren't my patients, you should be my patients.
There we go. There you have it. You want that
If
that
you in
Colgate
Atlanta,
smile.
go see Prada.
Prada.
period.
Okay, so the question is,
Who cheats more, men or women? So I guess answer that exclusively, and then you can define why you feel that way. And I guess base it. Also just base it. Like define why you feel that it's that way.
so we did a little bit of pre-pod, like 5 minutes before the pod.
Yeah, she was on Google.
Research. Because I had heard that women were more likely to cheat, which always surprised me. But apparently it's men. 20% of men, 13% of women. But I think that when you're talking about cheating, it's probably important to define
Right.
exactly what cheating is. Is it a like on social media? Is it an ad where you're adding somebody or you're following them? Is it it's definitely a DM, and then beyond that, physically, obviously, physical interactions constitute cheating, right? So I think it's interesting. I recently got out of a relationship in which he cheated on me, and it's fascinating to unpack that retrospectively because I didn't realize it at the time. I'm a busy professional. Perhaps I wasn't paying attention because now that I look back on it, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Now I see.
Yeah, now I should have paid attention to that when I really just didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you feel like there were signals at some point looking
Red
back at it?
100%.
100%.
100%.
So I guess why does that happen? Because I feel like I often talk to women and they see these red flags. What happened? Like, is it the heart
The benefit of the doubt, I think. We're trying to,
push through it?
we're trying to be like, okay, maybe it'll just be this one time and we can help them understand.
So
and
you're
help
cool
them
with
learn
one
from
time?
this point. I mean, yeah. You can't.
Are you, hold on, let's hold that.
Okay.
Are you cool with being cheated on one time? Let's be honest
No.
here. At all, so you're walking. No matter how long the relationship.
Now, have I been cheated on before and didn't walk? No.
Oh, hold on now. The actions ain't matching the
Right.
mouthpiece. Piece. Yeah.
Yes, so I have been cheated on before, and
And you
I
stayed.
did stay.
So technically, we
But
can.
I'm saying learning from that,
Yeah.
I would never stay again.
Well, hold on. Before we say learn from it, I'm pretty sure you knew beforehand that you would probably walk. You would, if somebody had asked you before you would cheat, you would have said no too.
Yeah, but when you're in it, it's like.
That's why I say the answer that we get from the mind when we're not involved, but I think you always have to base what you did at bat last. So if you batted last, you haven't put yourself in that position yet to know. Because all it takes is the right motherfucker with the right sauce and the right game and the right sex and all that stuff. And then you like,
that's why I'm saying
turn that head the other way.
You gotta give them one time. You give one person.
So you two are cool with one time and try to work through it. Okay, well, let's leave it right there. Now, Prada, how do you feel about what they said? One time, or you walk in day one?
And with my experience, I did know. I did know about one thing that I wasn't comfortable with. It wasn't like a full-on situation, but I wasn't comfortable with it.
Okay. And then y'all got through that.
We got through it because I said, I said the only way that I have a chance of getting through this is if we resource somebody else. So we started therapy.
Okay. And you know what? I'm going to let me get an applause for that. Okay. And the reason I say the therapy component of it, because I'm seeing a lot of relationships, although they may not work out, I am seeing people seek therapy more often in relationships, which means that somebody is trying in the dynamic. And I, as a guy, I'm going to say it's 50-50. Now, whoever initiated the therapy, you can get a little more credit, maybe 51 for now. But the fact, if he's going and he's showing up and you initiate it and he's willing to do that, I'm starting to hear that more often when things get rocky. People aren't just ending it. Right. They're trying to work through it. So I think that's a new thing. I think the more that we talk about it in general and spread that type of situation. I mean, I've been with 2 girls through therapy. It was them, though.
Wait, they're the ones that wanted the therapy?
They needed therapy, and I went with them for support.
So you didn't need
No, the therapy wasn't the issue with us. The therapy was with them. And I was just there dropping them off to get that therapy.
Right.
Oh, okay. So you innocent.
Yeah, so innocent, no
That's
guiltiness.
not couples therapy.
It wasn't couples therapy. It was single therapy. But I was here for it because it was impacting
You were
me.
emotionally supporting.
Yes, I was the emotional support dog. And I was like, hey, man, I'll drop you off and I'll be here for the 45 minutes. I mean, it got to a point where I was paying for that shit, too. Because I'm like, this girl's so damn gone.
I'll drop you off and pick you up, babe.
Right.
I got you.
Because I'm not going to pay the rate for both of us, and I'm just fucking fine. But that's super dope. So it sounds like you're cool with maybe like working through something initially to kind of push through to get to the same thing. Now, what is it
but
that
you know the moniker? The moniker is like, once a cheater, always a cheater, right? And that's what you hear all the time. And to be honest with you, this is the only relationship I've ever been in where cheating was involved, and it was true.
Well, they also say, too, though, when they cheat and then you give them a chance, you're teaching them what you can tolerate.
I think that's fair.
And that is so true because,
what about if y'all love them?
I was going to say, it depends on the person, too. It depends on what that person means to you if you're willing to try and let them know. It depends on how you're feeling.
Are they willing to try?
Yeah.
Would you be like, let's give this dumbass example, but let's just say your partner cheats on you. Let's just say you cheat back. Are you guys willing to work through that now? Or is it done?
I think that's shit.
I think it's trash can.
You cannot.
That's a full-blown trash can.
That's toxic.
Might as well just throw the whole thing away.
Gotcha.
Just forget it.
So I really want to get into, so we were talking about music a second ago, right?
Yes.
I really want to hear the tones, the notes, the clefs of what is, like, why does is it love? Like, what is somebody tell me the definition of love. Because I've heard it. It's one of those things, it's like you can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't touch it, but you just know it's there.
You just feel it.
So, like, what is love, and how do we know what the feeling that we're getting is love? What about if it's a feeling that's parallel to another feeling that's, like, because it seems like love tends to hurt. So why do we chase love?
That's a good question.
You know? Because love tends to, more times than not, you're going to be hurt until you find
Honestly,
the
I
right
think
person.
we confuse love with just being comfortable and attachment. I don't think all the time that it's love.
Okay. So how do you, I mean, how do you differentiate it? And as ladies who obviously, I mean, we're all looking for love, but I want, for you guys, for example, how do you guys filter the cap? The good cap mean, Prada, I got you. The cap mean is they lying.
The lies.
Okay, so we gonna get you all up
break
to
it
par
down for
all
me?
day.
It's like, I'm in the
Break it
book.
down. But ultimately, like, how do you? I guess personally, but how do you guys, for the collective of women, feel that people should go in order to really find pure love, and also understanding that people are human? And balance the two. So understanding that nobody's perfect and mistakes will be made, but how do you determine if those mistakes are still worth pursuing the love with that person, or are you just ignoring a red flag and going down the wrong road?
That's the question.
Most of the time, you're probably
Damn, boy, I'm
ignoring
getting
the
in
red
there today.
really deep
I'm really
right
getting
now.
in there, guys. We
I'm
in
thinking.
here. We in the deep end. Just
thinking.
I think
that.
I have an answer to that,
Okay,
or an
let's go.
opinion on it. So I think when I look back at my relationships, that love for me has been the moment at which I care so much about somebody else that I forget about myself.
Wow.
It's
The
selfless.
loyalty.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
loyalty.
It's like, how much can you pour into? How much can you give to somebody else? If you do that and you put your personal needs and desires and wants aside, then you
That's
really
your love.
love that person.
Is that the proper way to handle love? When you are in love, would you recommend putting your shit to the side?
No.
No.
healthy.
But I don't think it's healthy either. But I think for myself, I've said, okay, I realize that I really love this person because I care more about their happiness, their well-being, their whatever, than I do my own. And I think you reach a balance because they love you back. And if they love you back in that
Then it's
way,
even.
that works.
It's a seesaw. It's
Yeah,
right here.
That's marriage.
I
And we're
agree.
going to get into that later.
We're gonna get rid of that.
But
Right.
that's,
I like
that's
that.
what you look for,
Yeah.
right? Is that somebody is willing to do that same thing that you're willing to do for them for you, and that's when it works.
That's when it works.
If the balance
If it's
is
wrong
not
for one side,
unequal,
it ain't gonna work.
it's not going to work.
It's not work.
You care more than they care,
It's never.
or you're less selfish than they are.
They are. Then
it doesn't work.
You're gonna be leaning down.
That's why we're technically single.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like,
Right.
So for a guy, I'm gonna give. So my perspective as the guy is that right there is the scariest thing to walk into.
I mean, it's the scariest thing for us too.
No,
a
it's not.
woman.
wait,
Because
but why is
Yes.
it scary?
it is not scary to women because you will do it knowing there's a red flag right in front of you and you still go walk through it. So if it was that scary, you wouldn't do it. If I told you to jump out of a plane with no parachute, you wouldn't even consider it.
Correct.
But if I told you to go fall in love, you would do it every time.
No,
You're saying that
no.
love is scary to men?
Not love is scary, but the possibility that seesaw will be this way.
Well, it's really
And me
scary
on
to
that
women
side.
too.
But women
been
are
through it.
able to.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but that's the thing. When you go through something, what do? You get better at it. Men don't experience getting cheated on as often. Women don't experience, or men don't experience throwing everything on the table and cutting everything off. Women don't experience diving in, making sure that person's good. They play in a safe enough space where they can land on their
Well, why do men do
feet.
that? Why do men do
Well, I
that?
just told you that because that's the biggest fear to a guy is if that happens. See, when guys get hurt, it ain't just, let me go get my girls to rally. We're going to go get a drink at
That's
Gypsy
how y'all
Kitchen.
act though. Like
No,
y'all
it-
got this roster waiting
You
on
can,
y'all.
but you got it. We're old enough to know that how people act isn't how they are.
Right.
And so as you get older, you got to understand that men don't have support systems when it comes to being in those type of situations. If my girl gets cheated on, that's one of the most embarrassing things as a man, period. I don't have 3 girls that are going to sign up with me on a podcast and say it's all good. You saw what happened the last time Rondell was here. We all fucking clown him. We joke him. We bullshit him. He's probably hurting, no question. But it's just not allowed in that department. So man got to constantly keep this masculinity no matter what, even though they're hurt inside. So when does he ever get the support to heal? So us knowing that in the love department, we're going to be by ourselves if some shit get fucked up, then guys just at face value, they just move like this. Just far enough where I can bounce back, but close enough so you could feel that like I love you in return. And so, I mean, that's why I personally think guys fear going all the way in because
Y'all
there's
play it
nobody
safe.
to help
That
us to
makes
get
sense.
out.
Yeah, y'all play it
In
safe.
my opinion, there's no. I can't call my homeboys. My girls are gonna take me out and say, "Let's go get fucked up. Let's go to the bars."
You're
My
right.
boys ain't getting ice cream and they're bringing their blankets. We're all eating chocolate ice cream. There ain't none of that. You got cheated on. A, you're embarrassed, but B, you're getting clowned on, and C, girls look down on a guy who's been cheated on, and then you just lose. I mean, where do you recharge at? There's no recharge. So I think that's why guys move in that
Therapy.
segment.
I was gonna say
Yes.
go to therapy.
Yes, it sounds easy.
Yes.
But remember, masculinity.
Yeah.
It's not a thing
I
that
feel like
it's not
most men
preached
don't
in
go
the
to
locker
therapy.
room.
That's true.
Hey, you're hurting. Go to the locker room. They're like, hey, you're hurting. Get the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be just that simple.
I
Like
mean-
it's truly out there. So I think guys forget. People sometimes forget that guys are human, and then guys perpetuate
Do
the
guys
role.
think they forget they're human?
Do guys forget it? Guys don't. I don't think guys are concerned about if they're human. I think guys are more concerned about the role, their roles,
Right.
gender roles.
Right.
So, like as a guy, and to protect, provide, and there's one more, but I forgot. But I think that's on their mind constantly. And then, I mean, minus the cheating thing, I think like a good, solid guy who's got his good head on his shoulders. These are the things that are constantly rotating through his mind. So, his self-confidence, it's not something that, it's not on the priority list when he wakes up. When his alarm goes off, it's provide. When it's time to go home, it's protect. And so it's constant utility work. And so guys, in my opinion, they just fucking work. They're like workhorses, non-stop. They don't really get no time to talk about it. Because if they look at the girl might be like, he's a bitch, I don't want to be with him. Yeah. Or their boys, they go to
That's
their
the
boy.
wrong girl.
Well, you got to think I agree that it's the wrong girl, but I don't know if there's room for that for guys to be that way.
You have to
Well,
be
we
with
need
the right
to create
women.
it then.
Yes, we need to create that space to be vulnerable.
You do. It's 2023.
And
Yeah,
women who feel that from men or have been in a situation where they've been cheated on and feel like they want to create that safe space, men I hope will recognize that, because that to me is like a super high quality woman.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
There's room
who's
for
going to
that.
be just as supportive for you and with you and to you, and it's a partnership that as you are for them. And it's sort of these, you know, what you were talking about in terms of protecting and providing. It's sort of these masculine and feminine roles and the duality of a relationship, right? Where women are supposed to be. Women have, to me, like I'm a feminist in the sense that I think that like women should have equal opportunities with men, but I also think that women have a completely different skill set, and our job
Yes.
as women is to be nurturers and supporters, and we're wired that way. We're wired to bear children and to have families and to do all of these things that are feminine, and men are wired to do different things, and you complement each other.
Right.
It's not a competition. It's
No.
not, you know, I need to be able to do everything that Brian does and run a
Right.
gym and do all this stuff. I do my own thing.
Right.
You know, but I also I want
But why do women push that? Like that's a huge thing right now, especially within the feminist movement.
Because I think there's some confusion between, like, I think that women feel like they have to step into these more masculine roles. There's a lack of definition there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that women in our generation and currently, I just feel like are a lot more masculine than they
Right.
used to be. Like I look at people like my mother, and my mother is a professional. She was a nurse. She retired to raise a family, but like there's no shame in that. She had a really hard job for most of her life, raising 6 kids. I'm one of 6 kids.
Damn,
So,
Prada, I
like,
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Where the other 4?
5.
There are 5.
No, I know her sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so where the other 4 at?
They're all
All over. Oh snap, that's dope.
Wow.
But I
Do y'all
look
have
at-
like Thanksgiving together and shit?
Yes.
Damn,
You wanna
he-
come?
Man, Prada, I'm fucking there. Fuck yeah, I'm coming down
We're
the
always
street.
having guests.
Oh, bruh, I'm there. No cap. No cap. You know what that means.
bring us
No
too.
cap. I'm going down the street for Thanksgiving with Prada.
So it's, you know, I think it's amazing to look at women and men as individually, and say, okay, men, you have these unique things to bring to a relationship, to a marriage, to a family, to a household, and women, you have these amazing things to bring, and they're not the same. And women now, I feel like, have such the need to compete with men or to be on the same level as men, and whatever.
But that's what I feel like the feminist movement is, whether or not that's their intent. We got 45 seconds, but whether or not that's their intent, it is a byproduct of that push of the feminist movement, because now the women that cannot do the critical thinking to separate the two are now looking down or kind of making it like a less than wave, where somebody does want to commit on just family or developing their kids or having 6. How are you gonna have 6 kids and go work a full-time job?
You can't.
It's not
it
possible.
Is your job.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
But we don't see that anymore, because the priority now is to say, oh, we need to get in a job because we need to support ourselves. What happened?
We grew apart.
That's not a thing. Growing apart is not a thing.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
If you're not,
It's
in
a
the
Band-Aid.
same,
It's a Band-Aid.
If you're not going in the same direction, what are you doing?
I don't need to go in the same direction as my wife.
How
Yes,
did you grow
I mean,
apart?
y'all gotta.
Were we going to the store together? Or
No,
are we
but what
we're
I'm
in a
saying, y'all
relationship?
got to be on some sort of kind of together path.
So that means
Because
he
you
was
can't be
going
going
on.
this way and she's going this way.
Well, that means he's going away from the relationship and you're going to a relationship.
Correct.
That wouldn't. Then that's
Correct.
not. Then okay. Then
so we went from
that
in a
is not going
relationship to out of
separate
one.
ways. That's
So-
him not wanting to be in a relationship.
Who was going away from the relationship?
He didn't want to be in one, or you didn't want to be in one.
I probably started fading out before he did.
Okay, but there was a reason.
Yeah,
Okay, what was the reason?
he was very cold.
What does that mean?
His emotions were very shut off.
Was he not always like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was always
So what
like
made
that.
you think he liked you to begin with? Ooh. Bing bong.
I mean, he was with me for 9 years. He
Bing.
had to like something
I mean,
about
you,
me.
you can sit in a classroom all fucking semester and
See?
fail a
He had
class.
to love
Comfortable.
something about me to be with me for
That's
9
not
years.
true.
No.
You if you still getting that blanket pulled over your eyes that some guy can be with you and not be fucking with you, you wildin'.
I told you, attachment, being comfortable.
Well, yes, I will say we got very comfortable with each other, very comfortable, and that's what took me so long to get out of it, because I was comfortable.
So, what did you do wrong in the relationship? Damn, Prada, you put her on the hot seat.
I'm sorry.
Hey, girl.
So, what did you do wrong in the relationship? You feel like?
What I did wrong?
Yeah, what did you do wrong?
I probably didn't try hard enough at the end to try to keep the relationship. I probably just let it go a little too easy.
Well, I mean, when you hear "let it go," it seems like it was already drifting apart.
It
Why
was.
was it drifting apart?
We were together for 9 years, and it started drifting for me at year 7. So I stayed 2 years too long.
But what did you do wrong?
What did I do wrong?
Because saying you didn't grip it at the end,
I
ain't really wrong.
probably what I did wrong was not. I stopped fucking him.
Probably.
I mean, that's probably what it is. I stopped fucking him.
Why
And
do
I
you,
think-
why?
I just he.
So you think the relationship of 9 years stopped because you stopped fucking him year 7?
No.
Would that be a good response for you?
What stopped it? Okay, let's
What
get down
is
to
the
the nitty-gritty.
root?
The root. What caused us to go like this when we were like this? Is,
Well, I mean, no sex can start it.
Yeah, definitely. I think what it was is at year 5, I told him, I kind of gave him an ultimatum. And I was like, what are we doing? I was like, are we getting to a point of marriage, or are we getting to a point where we're just going to stay where we're at? And I was like, because I'm ready to move forward. So at year 5,
I like this topic.
I kind of gave him an ultimatum, like, do you want to marry me? And so he kind of did it just because that's what I wanted. And I feel like when I made him make that decision is when he kind of started drifting from me.
So why would you feel like you need to put a man that truly loves you, wants to be with you the rest of their life, in an ultimatum?
I mean, at this age, I wouldn't do that anymore.
What age were you?
I was 26, maybe.
That's not
25,
yet. You act like you was a
26.
baby.
I was.
26 is never a
I'm
baby.
almost 10 years older than that now.
Well, no, you're just older. But I don't want to say 26 was a
So-
baby.
It feels like it. I mean, I gave him all of my 20s, so I gave him all of my baby years. Mm-hmm. I mean, I gave him the best parts of me.
So you started feeling like, were you
No, your 20s are not the best part of you.
You're
right,
probably
the
right.
pressure?
Right.
So why do we? I mean, Do you think like that's normal to have to put a man that wants to be with you in a situation where he has to pick you?
No, I wouldn't have. Knowing now, looking back, I wouldn't have done that.
So why did you not have a duration in which the relationship should have lasted? Like, how does 7 years go by and you're not done? Like, how does 2 years not go by and you're not done?
Because I loved him.
But
I truly loved him.
But that sounds like an I thing.
I mean, it probably. I mean,
y'all plural was not in love.
Correct.
So this is what I'm saying.
Correct.
These red flags that women have, like, honestly, I don't know if when do you learn from these things? Hold on now, 7 years, and still.
Because
well,
I thought
a minute. I went through the same thing.
I'm interested.
I thought that I could like get him to see at one point something for him to be
You
like.
think you can change a man,
And you can't.
So why do we not feel as if we can go out and get another? If you lit, you lit. Like, I know if a girl ain't fucking with me, I'm outside tomorrow. I'm gonna get 3 tomorrow. Why don't girls feel like that?
Because we don't want to do that.
But if I will say this, if I had known, I was with this guy for 7 years. If I had known what was on the other side of that, I would have been out of it 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's totally possible. It's scary. It's intimidating, I think, for women. And when you get older, it's even more intimidating because you're looking at all your girlfriends who are married with kids, and you're like, am I really looking at starting over? You know, which is essentially what we say to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Like even when you get out of a bad relationship and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to start from scratch, and I'm 38, and you know, men my age are looking for somebody that's 28. That was my thought.
That's true.
You know, but then I realized I'm always going to
That's
be
possible
young.
though.
I'm always going to be young to somebody. You
Yes.
know, like it might,
Yes.
it might not be
Amen.
it might not be the guy that's my age,
Yeah.
but like I'm going to be young to the 45-year-old or whatever.
Right.
You know, but it's scary. It's scary for women to re-enter the dating pool. And honestly, like, it's the wild, wild west.
But that's
Yeah.
to me, that's so wild because you guys actually get quadruple the attention men get. So why would y'all be scared?
But most of that attention,
I would
we
think
don't
guys would be
necessarily
scared.
want.
Huh?
We don't want that
Well,
half
guys,
the
I mean,
attention
that's
that we
not
I
the
don't
way.
want a one night.
But guys, life doesn't work where, hey, I don't want that stuff, so I'm gonna sit here and get. You guys already have an advantage. Men chase you non-stop. Women don't chase no men. If anybody should be scared of never finding somebody, it should be a guy. But we are programmed that we will never be able to eat unless we kill it. But women are programmed that it's always going to be put right in front of us.
gonna be given to
And so what happens is you guys have played the whole game on offense. We've played the whole game on defense. And now as you get older, it's better to be a defensive player in the dating field than to be offensive. It was better to be offensive when you guys were younger because every high schooler, middle schooler, college kid, everybody's trying to smash. Now it's older, and that ain't the game no more. So time actually works in a man's favor because the older he gets, he's getting in his money, he's getting in his confidence, his beard is finally connecting. All the other things, he's dealt with enough girls, he's had enough sexual partners where he knows where his stride is, and now he's confident. And he's been rejected enough to know I've got calluses, bro. I'm not tripping. She don't like me, whatever.
But you know what? I dated that, and the problem with that, from my perspective, is that you feel like you can have anybody you want.
Yes.
Right? And when is your woman, when is the person that you're dating and have a relationship with, when is she enough? Or do you have so much clout and you've got so much money and you've got this career and you've got all these accolades and people think you're amazing, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, wait a minute, I might deserve more, or I might want something different than what I have. And
You
that's
talking about from
where
your position or
women are.
girls?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where women are, because when I started dating the guy I was dating, he was successful, but he wasn't a multimillionaire. And over the course of our relationship, he got to that point. And to me, that's his money changed him.
He
where
changed
it
him.
was like, all of a sudden I feel like I can manage 2 separate lives, and because I've got money and everybody wants me, and I read something that was really interesting the other day about gold diggers and men who the essence of it was like men really like gold diggers because
Absolutely.
it makes them feel
Like
sort
they
of
poppin'.
validated.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
It validates them. And it's like all the men that couldn't get these girls when they were younger,
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
Access.
because they've got money,
Can get them now.
can get them now. And what was so interesting to me about my relationship and what happened was that, and I had a long conversation with, he was unfaithful, and I had a long conversation with the girl that he was unfaithful on me with.
Yeah.
That's
Did
with
you
him.
throw an iron at her?
I was
or-
about to say you had a
We
conversation.
didn't know about each other. We didn't know
Okay.
about each other.
Okay.
And so
Was it in person like this?
no, it was
Okay.
over the phone.
Because if it was in person, you would have had
I
a.
was about to
Right.
say.
Because I got you in the gym,
I know.
and I kind of want to see what you.
And I'm
Let her know you can go to Misfit,
10'8", 6'4",
okay?
And I start at 10 pounds.
Yeah, 10'8", 6'4" in this motherfucker.
But I will say, like, she said to me that this person that we both were dating
Mm-hmm.
said, you know, you make to her, she's an influencer or like stripper type, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you make me feel like a man because you need me. Like
Yeah.
I can take care of you. You're looking for somebody that
yeah.
can financially provide. And for me, I was like, I got that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm paying for our vacations. I'm taking you out to dinner.
Yeah.
You know, because I've got my shit together and I'm
Yeah.
a professional and I want to bring something to the relationship. But for some reason, for him
It didn't-
or for men, like it didn't.
They don't like
hit.
that shit.
They wanted. He wanted to feel needed. Right.
So, how do you guys? I want to know the women's perspective on how do you guys feel about women that go contrary to what she says and just kind of let the guy do their thing intentionally, and how do you feel like the Prada approach where it's like, nah, I'm bringing the table too, and based on what you've seen, heard, and over time, what do you guys feel like is the best decision in the dating market for the guys that you guys are pursuing? That was a long question, wasn't it?
It was very.
So how do you feel about the, like, which one do you prefer? Which one would you choose? Because I believe you guys are all independent women handling your own shit. You don't need no man. Y'all probably sing that, you know, period. Like y'all saying all that shit. City girls, we don't need no man, blah, blah, blah. But in the dating world, with even the perspective that she says that a guy that she was with for 7 years, knowing that, how do you beat the game then? Do you continue to just focus on you and just continue to keep bringing your table everywhere?
I think the right man appears in your life, right? Where
How?
like for me, I would never stop pursuing my passion, my career. I would never stop getting after it because that's the kind of person I am, to pacify a man, to make him feel like more of a man because he can provide for me. But at the same time, I'm going to make you dinner. And I'm going to have your children. And I'm going to be here with the candles lit like my mom was my entire life at home. When everybody came home from school and work, she had dinner on the table. We all had family dinner together, and my dad had worked all day. Like, that was her role as a mother, was like a nurturer and a caretaker, and she like set that up for our family. And I think that's what children like right now in our culture are missing, because women are in the workforce trying to do all this shit to be like men, when really they have a complete, I mean, they can, but like they have a completely different skill set. Women, in my opinion, like, I mean, they're the ones that are at home with kids, like raising kids, and that's their skill set.
So how come you don't? Do you not feel like your path versus your mother? You feel like your path is different than your mother's path, right?
100%, but it's because I'm single. Okay, so my mom was a nurse. She was a professional. She met my dad when they were working together in a hospital. But like, and then she, as they started having kids, it necessitated her sort of retirement.
Do you think that's the best formula?
Not necessarily, because I think that like kids also, I think it's really cool to see kids that have moms that work, you know, that are like, I got a job, I have a career. If you want to do this, you can do it, and you know, have A, B, and C. You can be a mom and you can be a career woman. But for me, dentistry kind of scratched that itch where I was like, I can work 3 days a week and be home with my kids. Not every career is like that, but I have the flexibility to be able to do that, and I knew that going into it. I was like, I don't want to be a medical doctor where I'm on call every weekend. I want to be a dentist where I can work 3 days a week and have somebody that works with me, and I can be home with my kids, or I can I can help my husband with things, or I can be, whatever. Step into like the female part. Tap into your femininity.
If you had to pick one, what are you picking? Your
to be
career?
a mom or to be a career woman? Don't ask me that.
I know that's a hard decision.
No, it shouldn't.
Let's talk about
That
it.
ain't a hard decision.
That's
It's hard. I think it's hard until you have a kid.
Yes.
If I had a kid,
but the only reason you said that is because you know the answer would change.
Well,
Maybe.
The point
Boom.
is, when you have the kid, that's when the answer changes. You're going to be a mom.
But here's the thing: sometimes you got to practice before it shows up. So the nurturing, and that's why I say the great signal for guys is that they start envisioning a woman being the mother because she's acting like one. But if they can't see it prior, then they always think she's good. Like you have to manipulate the guys. You have to run game.
wait, what?
Right.
Like-
Teach us.
Yeah, so like you have to act like you have to act like a wing is broken. It's not because the wing's broken. It's just you got to play the game.
That's
Right.
bullshit.
That's what
Now,
I'm
look,
saying.
you can say that, but
I'm
but
listening.
but the market is showing that a guy will go get a girl from the strip club and take her out of it. And take care of her.
But why is that?
Because because they're chasing love. A guy doesn't necessarily, the feeling that he may get from somebody who is doing all this stuff is a different love. The love that my dad gave me was totally different than my mom gave me. My dad was in the street all in the field, and I knew that. And I was like, nah, my dad's hustling. You got to go get that. My mom was at the crib doing all that, the lovey-dovey shit, make sure you take a shower, stuff like that. So you got to ask yourself, damn, which love is my man missing? I don't think he's missing the one from the career. I think he's missing the one that maybe his mother gave him. And so now he's looking for.
That's what I've noticed
saying,
as I got older. You need to feed the part of the man that he is missing.
Missing.
Yes.
They run.
I'm learning
They kick you
that.
out.
That
Yes.
sounds like therapy to me. I'm not
You
going to
think?
do that.
It does sound
honestly,
like
it is
therapy.
therapy. It's a personal issue with that man.
Well, no, I won't say it's an issue because it's the hierarchy in the house. We grew up with our fathers gone.
We all have
and our
issues.
mother had.
And there's all things we have to fix about ourselves.
I don't necessarily think we all have it. I do not have an issue.
No, Brian, you don't.
No.
Not a single one.
And I don't think I need to go see therapy for anything.
Right.
Honestly, no. Nothing.
Really?
I have no trauma.
This is your therapy session?
I mean, I just enjoy talking like this, but I don't think I need. Nothing's gonna resolve me in a
Brian's laughing
relationship.
at you.
No, I just don't think I need to go. I don't need to see it there. I haven't been through a relationship
That
that,
sounds
was
like
7
somebody
years
who
or
needs
8
to
So you
years.
don't think men that didn't have their fathers in their life need therapy? You don't think they have trauma?
Therapy for what? What are we solving? His dad wasn't around.
That's what.
That doesn't.
But
It's not an
leaving
alarm clock.
That's leaving
It's-
a permanent scar on him
Guys,
that he's carrying through the
Guys,
rest of his life.
animals in the jungle do not grow up with their freaking moms and dads. It's very practical that other countries
not
kick their
animals,
kids out.
we're humans.
Other countries kick their kids out often. Other countries don't keep their kids around till they're 30, 25 and help them get through college and take them on tours. This is not the world. It's a specific area that does this stuff. So there's a lot of people that get on the workforce at 18. Do y'all notice that we go through college and our mom brings us stuff and food? Like we kind of get pacified.
So you feel like not having a father in your life doesn't affect you?
No, I'm not saying that it doesn't affect you, but I'm not saying that I don't think it's necessarily detrimental to your future.
Okay.
Because we know a list of stories of a lot of people in hoods, parents get locked up and go be great, amazing people.
That's true.
So I can't necessarily say, oh, no dad at the house, oh, you're going to be fucked up. Because we don't see too many situations where it's not. I think, it's the person.
Yeah.
It's the circumstances. It will be changed. But if we want to use generalities for time's sakes, I think it's I think cultural and color and race determine that. More black guys are just not going to have their dads at home. So we can't tell every black person, hey, you need to go see therapy, and every white guy, you don't need to go see one because your dad's at home. Some white families, their parents be at the house and their dad's doing God knows what on a work trip. But they be at the house. Some dad gets incarcerated. He's not around. So it's like the formula is going to always consistently be so different that we can never say, oh, you need to go see therapy because of X, Y, Z. Because I think it's going to be hard. But I do think based on how that person's reacting to the circumstances, maybe you could see like, damn, man, he may need some help, or that kid is lashing out. Fuck, man, let me talk to him. Let me pull him aside. And I think that's ultimately family and community that's responsible for that.
I think there are patterns. I'll speak to this for a second. I think there are, like this guy that I was dating's dad also cheated on his mother, right? So if you have an example like that in your life as a kid, and you're watching that, and you're watching your family life evolve or disintegrate because of that, I think that has some bearing on how you act as an adult. It has to,
I
right?
agree. I agree.
Your kids are impressionable,
I
right?
agree.
Well, when I went to therapy, because I actually have been to therapy, and they say that a lot of things that happen to you in your life is based off your parents, and that parents is based off their parents. And
100%.
it flows literally from generation to generation. That's what it is.
And part of it too, neurologically, is that your neural pathways are formed. I learned this in therapy by age 7. So at age 7, you are programmed to kind of understand how the world works. And if you're going to rewrite that programming, you have to experience it a certain number of times before neurologically and scientifically your brain rewires itself.
Wow.
So it's
great
not
fact.
like you can't have a single, let's say your dad cheated on your mom. It's not like you can have a single positive experience after age 7 and all of a sudden you rewrite that.
Right.
You have to
Yeah.
have multiple experiences to rewrite that part of your neurology. It's scientifically, it's anatomical. So that's why I think people end up in therapy because a lot of things happen to kids between age 0 and 7, and they don't realize the impact that it has on their
How
adult life.
impressionable
Yes.
it is.
But it
yes.
does because you're wired to understand the world a certain way.
That's
and
all
if you're
you
going
know.
to unwind it and rewrite it, you have to experience it multiple times to do that. You know?
Do y'all not feel like environment plays a bigger role in all of that? Because what happens from 0 to 7, I can see how it can make an impact, but if you put somebody's environment as positive versus toxic from 7 to 18,
Yeah,
I
but
feel like that'd have way more
yes,
impact on somebody
correct.
than from the
Yes.
0 to 7. So I think, here's the thing. I think the dynamic of people growing up and seeing the parentals, the issue is that your parents are still, they're not perfect either, and they're learning. And so I think kids and grown-ups now need to understand that y'all are putting parents on such a pedestal that when they make mistakes, you guys hold them so accountable to the point that it affects your life. We have to understand those are human beings. And if they didn't have the same last name as us, we wouldn't hold them that as accountable. We wouldn't judge them. We'd support them. But because they got the same last name, we put them to the fire forever. We resent them for mistakes that they made 20, 30, 40 years ago. They're no different than the kids. And they're learning it as they go, because you got to remember, this is the first time they've had a kid. How the fuck would they know how to do it?
Right.
It's the first time they're doing it. So now they're doing this on the fly. Oh shit, never had a kid. You're yelling, you're upset, job's stressful, you come home, he acting bad, he don't understand this shit, I don't know what I'm doing. And then as kids, we're growing up like, why aren't you perfect?
Yeah.
And then you get older, you're like, then you start getting older and see how hard it is to be old.
Yeah.
And then you're like, damn, I want some grace. But why don't y'all get that grace to your folks?
Right.
Because they need that shit too. And so I think there's got to be a window where, yes, I already know you're going to be upset. You're going to hold resentment. You're not going to understand. And then you need to cross over and understand, fuck, man, if people are having kids in their 30s, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. And I'm like 35. So I know they're fucking up left and right. But if their heart's good, I don't ever think it's intentional. But then we have to apply that people resolving conflict and having a full conversation with their kid, put your phone down.
Please.
Oh, yes, sorry, my bad.
People putting their people approaching conflict in general is difficult. If you had smoke with her, it ain't like you're gonna come sit her down and have an amicable discussion and talk about your feeling. You're gonna block her, you might not talk to her, you're gonna
Right.
pop some shit, you're gonna tell a friend. And so we have to reflect and look at how we operate, and we have to give so much grace when it comes to
Yeah.
family. It's just always grace. Now there is a line where you just know, all right, these red flags been popping up so much. I don't care if you got the last name, you cut off. But I do think, especially when it comes to the parents, and if they're showing consistency, concern, et cetera, et cetera. I think I just take whatever my parents did, bro, at face value. Cause I know they don't know what the fuck they doing.
Right.
They just, it's too hard to know what you're doing. You don't know how the money is. You don't know if he had you don't know if he had a side piece. You don't know if he fell out of shape. You don't know if she was yelling and throwing shit at him. We just don't know. So when we see the results,
Correct.
and we hold that, but damn, we don't know the formula, how we got the result.
You're right.
And then we only get in one side of the field. And then I think now we're coaching ourselves to heal from something that I don't even know if it was ever an issue. It's just from our perspective,
We're carrying.
it looked like it was an
Yeah.
issue, but maybe it never was. And to ask our parents to have a full-blown discussion about, maybe they're not, maybe they can't, maybe they don't know, maybe they're not good at dialogue like this, maybe they're not calm, maybe it hurts them. So the grace with the parentals, I think, is so key once we start really tapping into our emotions as we get older, and then just like, fuck that shit. And so I think for guys, well, not all guys, but for a guy like me, I'm like, whatever, I just don't give a fuck. Like some bullshit happened yesterday, bruh, I don't give a fuck. I can't care about
But
shit.
how can you do that though so easily?
Because I know I'm owed nothing here. I'm literally owed, I'm not deserving of a good life. I really look at life like that. I don't deserve it. I have to earn it. If it's not good, it's my fault. So I accept all responsibility of everything, even if it's a situation that's out of my hands. Then I'm like, well, why'd you put yourself in that environment? You should have seen it. So if I get in a bad relationship, that's my fault.
I love that
That's
perspective.
If I get in a bad relationship, it's my fault. If I'm dating the wrong person, it's my fault. If she played me, it's my fault. She cheated on me, it's my fault. I just take responsibility for everything.
Yeah, but you can't do that until you sit down with yourself and really figure that out, because I feel like a lot of people don't do that.
I don't know if sitting down with yourself will create this mentality. I don't know if you sat down for 2 years, would you just finally just start taking
I
responsibility
mean,
for
I
everything?
think so.
You think?
After 2 years?
I mean, if it was that easy, I think a lot more people would take
But
responsibility
that's
in
the
general.
thing. It is easy, and people don't do easy.
Now, this mentality is, I don't know anybody even run like me.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's not because they're not necessarily understanding what's important in life. To me,
Right.
To get through this shit, to me, this shit is a war. I think people are expecting good shit to happen. I expect everything to go wrong, and then I'll make it right. I expect it to be broken, then I'll fix it. I don't go into
that's a great
situations
way to
just
look at it.
always thinking that it's going to be all peaches and cleans. So yes, it's double the work, double the strain,
Absolutely.
double the stress.
Yeah.
But I rather control the outcome than predict it and be wrong, because now I lose time and I lose the result. I'd rather just lose the time and ensure the result.
Correct.
So for me, I'm starting to realize that's why in life, what they say, everything takes time. So rather than rushing the relationship and hoping it works in 2-3 years, control that motherfucker. And when it doesn't work, you know it was wrong.
Right.
Not sit back and hope that it hits. So when shit starts going wrong, attack it and fix it. Address him. Call his ass out. Tell him I'm not doing this shit. I'm leaving. Keep everybody
Boundaries,
accountable.
right.
If you keep people accountable, keep holding everyone accountable. They fuck up, hold them accountable. They forget to lock the door, hold them accountable. Keep holding accountability, then I think you'll get to a place where BS will just naturally be scared to fuck with you.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
BS will just be like, oh, I don't need people, they'll just pick it up. So there's certain people that you can run game on, and there's certain people you like, I ain't going over there, that motherfucker gonna snap. So I think depending on how you are in your energy levels and like, et cetera, I think the wrong people sniff that, oh, I can get away with that. Like y'all said,
Yes.
what's the first thing y'all said when I asked y'all, will y'all deal with one fuck up? Everyone here said yes. Let me know if I'm dealing with a fuck up. Fuck no. And I'll set the tone immediately.
I love that for you.
But you're dead on. If a girl, you're like, fuck, that's it. She
Never.
gone.
Never.
She
But
gone.
you know what? In my experience, once you experience it once, I would never feel the same way about a second
Exactly.
relationship.
how-
That's what I
But
said.
my
You
thing
have
is,
to learn from
how
it.
do you
But
grow-
fuck, that scares
how
me
do
though,
you
because
grow with
I
people?
feel like what you were before that ever happens is a more like nurturing, sweet, soft, guards are all down.
Okay.
Everything's safe. Leave the front
100%,
door open.
100%.
And then now the door's locked, fences up,
Yeah.
privacy
Yeah.
trees. I'm scared now.
But I'll tell you,
it's a different woman.
It is but
Not saying it's bad or good, but it's a change. Big on empathy. I think we're big on empathy. And I think it's important for women to use those emotions and channel them in a place where you can feel what others feel. The key is for women is empathy. You need to know how a guy feels because he's not good at feeling in general. So the fact that you guys have
That's the key to life.
I agree, but understand that guys don't care about that. It doesn't work the other way. Guys don't, that's just not their priority. So
They're
it's
not
like,
concerned with how their women feel.
I wouldn't say the word concern, but concerns means like it's a deliberate thing that I'm doing because I don't truly care about
Do
you.
you think we can ever get to where it will be a priority for y'all?
You got to ask what kind of man you want, because y'all tend to want guys that get into their shit, get in the bag, super successful. To be that individual is not to be the person you're asking for. They aren't the same people. So Sean Diddy Combs ain't married because he's not a solid guy.
I don't accept that. I don't accept that because I consider myself to be an empath because it's what I do, but I'm also super successful. So like in my
But your
opinion,
world, it's different.
is it?
Yes, because when you win, it's like you win it anomaly. You win and you crush it 1 out of 5,000. Glorified. The stars come out, the fireworks. Like, oh shit. A guy wins, normal. Nothing special. It's how big you're
Because
going to
it's
win.
not expected of women, but it's expected of men.
Well, no, it's just like just sheer numbers of it. So it's like if you make it to the NFL, glorified. Yeah, because it's a 1% chance to make it. But if you made it to high school, ain't nobody cheering.
But like, what an amazing marriage or relationship or whatever you want to call it, where you're married to, I mean, two people who are empaths are married to each other. That seems to be like the most amazing relationship. Don't you think?
I think it's the most amazing story.
But you don't think it exists.
No, I think you really got to just know what guy you're picking. Like every guy's focus is different. Believe me, the high earning guys that want to go get multi-million dollars, we can't use average metrics on above average men. If we want to channel up and go chase somebody different, understand the rules, regulations, blueprint is not the same for men. The average tactics are average tactics. The above average guys are a different tactic. So when you see somebody like Kim Kardashian or Khloe getting cheated on, and you're like, oh my God, she's beautiful, she's so rich, why would he ever do that? Yeah, because above average rules don't apply to above average men. It's a totally different metric system. So most women are bringing what the tools that they dealt with, those regular bum dudes that gave y'all red flags every day, and try to go apply that on a super high earner who's literally 1 or 2%, and then wonder why it didn't work.
I have a problem with that though. Like, why? Why is that? Just because you're successful and you have high earning potential or whatever, you have the liberty to act differently than the rest of us.
Well, it's not the liberty; it's just you naturally do. But let's play devil's advocate. If I take somebody like you that has that high earning, finer, umi stuff like that, I can't take you to Roussans. You gonna look at me like, what the fuck? I can't take you to Destin on some basic shit, to the Fairfield Inn. Bro, we're going St. Regis. So we have to play devil's advocate and say here, damn,
It's
like
true.
if I'm elevated, I got you feel me?
She said big fan.
Her
Don't
nickname
take
is
me.
Prada.
Right.
Her nickname not Coach. So the guy that's gonna step to you already got to know, like, damn, she
She's on a
pulling up.
different level,
I gotta play the
right.
game differently with Prada if I want to bag her.
gotta go
I might not be
higher.
able to bag Prada with my money, so I'm gonna have to bag Prada with my
But
personality.
that's okay. To me, it's more about your ambition. If I were to date a guy who had no ambition and who he was okay being whatever, status quo, whatever, I'm more attracted to ambition than I am to anything else. You don't have to be a multimillionaire. I've been there, done that, and I saw where that ended. And it may not end the same way for every multimillionaire that everybody dates, but it ended that way for me. And now at this point in my life, I'm like, okay, more importantly than how much money do you make, are we on the same page in terms of what we want our lives to look like?
Yes.
You know, like, because if you're hungry, if you aspire to work, if you aspire to provide for your family, like, I can get on board with that. It doesn't matter how much money you make. You know, I could make more money than you as long as you're comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But what I can't get on board with is apathy, or like, you don't care that your career trajectory is flat, and I can't get on board with that because I'm not that person. I'm looking to grow a multi-million-dollar practice.
Correct.
For example, like I want somebody on my team who gets that, because if you don't get that, then our relationship isn't going to work, because you're not going to understand where I'm putting my energy, and where you're going to need to fill in for me where I can't fill in for you, and where it's a give and take because I'm building this business, and if you don't understand me building this business, this is more than just a career difference. It's like a difference of values, and that's a bigger difference to me.
I would think that if we were to change your gender, and let's just say you're male, everything you're saying works very well to what attracts women. Now, if we flip that, if everything you're saying as a female, the question has to be, damn, is that necessarily going to be attractive to men?
I don't know. I'm single.
No.
I'm 38 and single.
Right.
Okay, so
So it's not that it's no. It's not it's definite, because there's some guys that are like, and my girl trying to get it,
But
it's up.
most percentages,
But
no.
yeah, but you guys know the numbers, and you guys still chase. You guys still want guys that are 6'5", and y'all know it's like 0.05. Yeah, that don't stop y'all. So let's not act like it's the numbers. Like, no, it's y'all. Y'all know what y'all choosing. You want a guy, go get a 5'2", There are plenty of them. But y'all want 6'5", you got to hit it like a porn star. Like, okay, cool. Just keep making the numbers low. But anyway, my point in saying is we have to, keyword tonight is going to be empathy. We have to understand and step into the shoes as a man who's building $1 million company and saying, what would be the complementary things that I would want as I'm building this $1 million practice as myself? What would I want my significant other to do? Would I want them to be, and I'm not saying all guys are like this, but in generalities, I would think that person would say, well, I'm building $1 million practice. You have to ask him, why would he be building $1 million practice? What's his purpose of doing that? 9 times out of 10, when a guy is chasing a big bag of money, it's to spread it amongst his family and his legacy. But I've noticed, and not in your situation, but I've noticed when a lot of women say they're chasing the bag, it's for them. It's not to put their kids through school and it's for them. So we have to understand that men, when they go chase money, truly it's really for a woman in some capacity, whether it be just Joe Schmo at the club or their wife or their kids, but it's always for everyone. And so I think what's new and the new wave is that now women balling. They making more money than dudes. But they didn't get the manual that came with that. They didn't get the instruction manual. So from the outside and the surface, yeah, we getting money, bro. We getting good. We just didn't realize that, damn, y'all didn't get the programming that also comes with trying to do all that. And it works in the male side because the things that we're pushing are attractive. What's the first thing y'all just said? Y'all attracted to? Ambition. Not ask guys what they're attracted to.
Having goals.
It may not be ambition. So building $1 million practice may be attractive it's got to be for that particular guy that's looking for that. And so remember, based on the more successful a woman gets and the more she earns, the less her pool of dating gets. Because now you ain't dealing with nobody necessarily making less than you, and don't set yourself up for it, because 9 times out of 10 he's gonna feel inferior. So if you make 300, you better look for a 301. And now ask yourself what's the pull of 301? Now if he makes 301, how tall is he?
I'll be honest with you, I don't even care about it.
About
I
the
don't
bread?
even care about the income.
But here's the thing.
That's how I've
Really?
been.
It's
The
the
guys
ambition.
do. The guys do.
Are they intimidated by men that make more?
If
more
you
than
make
they
300, they want to make 301. You
I
can't
think
keep
men
saying
like
you
to
don't
feel
care.
That's fine. But like to me, this whole thing is a conversation. And mature, advanced, when you're in your 30s relationships, if it's gonna work, you're gonna talk about this shit. And you're gonna say, okay, here's what I'm looking for in a relationship, here's what I need from a partner. Can you support me, or can you get on board with this? Because if you can't, this might not work. But if you can, like, this could be amazing.
But how hard is that when you're in love?
What do you mean?
That conversation you're talking about right now, that sounds so perfect because we're all friendly and we're all family. But the minute you start fucking loving me, you start throwing shit out the window.
The older you get, the faster you say, "Is this going to work logistically?" Before I don't know if that's I
don't know if that's a good thing though.
It's not, because that's what
the older we get. I don't know if I don't know if not falling stupidly in love as we get older is better. I think the older you get, you need to fall stupidly in love. Because the odds of ever even getting to it aren't going to work because of time.
Listen,
we already saw what time did.
If you know, though, that it's not going to work logistically, you don't put yourself in a position to fall in love with somebody. I don't.
No, I agree. Right. But when you said that the guy that you were speaking to, what's the first thing you told him? Hey, I'm just letting you know I'm taking this shit slow.
I did.
And what I'm saying in return to that is that as we grow older, taking it slow is actually working backwards for us because you're doing that to protect yourself.
Correct.
But it's not necessarily beneficial as far as getting to the answer quicker. If it's going to work, we got to go, motherfucker. I ain't 15.
I feel you.
So if you ain't that guy, I need to know today.
But I don't mean like 10 years slow. I just mean like I'm not looking to get engaged to you in 6 months. Mm-hmm. You know, like I just got out of a 7-year relationship. I'm going to take this slowly. And I think I would hope that whoever you're dating appreciates it because they feel like you're not hopping back into something right away. And you're like, I'm 38, I got to get married, you know, this and that. And you're just like, I want to get to know you. This is a completely separate situation from the one that I was in, and I want it to feel different. Mm-hmm. And so give me the space to be able to feel that with you.
Yeah.
You know?
But I'm confident enough, and I'm confident in y'all that y'all are dope enough where if it's going to go, it's going to go. Like using the precautions I think are cool, but I'm like, when you're lit, bruh, you're gonna win.
We are lit.
You're lit, you're gonna win. You don't have to take that shit slow.
Are we lit?
When you're lit, you're lit.
Everybody gonna go.
So I think like when you know you popping, just go. Go get hurt again. You can't hide that shit, bro.
But you say that
you know what you don't want to be is 40 as a female. You don't want to be a 40-year-old woman and single because you got into
it's inevitable.
It's not.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
You know
it's
how many
inevitable to be 40 and single?
You know how many 40-year-olds are single?
Brian,
more people are not in relationships than are.
That's true.
Keep your gym open. I'm going to be back next year. I'm going to be married.
She's going to be married. You heard that.
But before I'm 40.
But I would like you to know that statistically, I can't even name 10 people that have girlfriends. I don't know 10 guys that are dating. So married is like I'm 35. I don't know 10 people that are married at all.
Really?
No.
Wow.
You don't know any all my girlfriends are married.
Really?
I had a birthday dinner last night. Every single person at that table was married with 2 children.
Oh, but hold on. When were they married? It's different now. Like the numbers continue to compound.
I think sub 30, and I'm 38.
So just under.
Yeah, because their kids are like in kindergarten.
Okay.
I mean that's a long time.
Like late 20s.
Yeah.
Guys. This is almost 10 years.
That's how I say.
It's a decade.
What are we saying?
No, not that you're old. I'm just saying that means there was 10 years. There was a relationship that happened at 28. It's so much more malleable. It's so much more. It can move. It can shift a little bit.
But some of them were super quick. Like I have girlfriends that got married to their spouses after 2 years.
That's the key. Okay. I'm saying that is the recipe.
I was in a relationship for 7 years, and I'm still single.
But
that's what I'm saying too. That's my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
A man knows when he wants to marry a woman. Is that yes or no?
Yeah, but are you giving that man 100% for him to get married? Yeah. A lot of women act like girlfriends and want a ring.
So
you gotta act like a wife to get a ring.
So you saying me putting in?
Like a
that's
wife?
what I'm saying. So the time that I put in does not equate to me how I'm acting like a wife.
I mean, the time that I put into a class doesn't mean I'm gonna get an A.
Okay.
So you got to start looking at these things like if I'm not getting the grade I want, then I'm not necessarily studying the curriculum.
So the reason why he didn't want to marry me is because I wasn't giving him wife attributes.
Well, you got to ask yourself if he's in a relationship with me and this is the test and that test did not end the way I want, then we can't always blame the teacher. We have to start reflecting on what we were studying.
Correct.
In order to have more of a... Now, it's not going to always be your fault, but what you want to be in is in a position of authority. You want to be in a position of no. A lot of women in a relationship, they don't even know what happened. They get cheated on. They don't even know wow. They be so lost. And then they go to another relationship, be like, well, what the fuck did you learn? All you did was get hurt. If anything, you worse now because you hurt, and now you're not even open. And I know you didn't learn shit because he ain't talk to you. So so you didn't get better with time. This ain't wine now.
So we talked about why do women stay after the red flags? Why do men stay? Because I hear a lot of women say, like you said, if I would have never left, we would still be in that relationship. So why do men stay?
Well, I don't know if the man. I don't believe that man was in a relationship. I believe she was in one. Bing bong.
Hard to hear.
Not big ball.
That's
You
not
ain't-
big ball.
You ain't gotta hit the
No,
nail on the
I
head
got
like
you.
that.
I got never
but-
easy, never easy, and that's not an attack on you. We
Right.
have to play relationships in a manner where this is why it's so hard because like y'all date with the emotions.
Yeah.
And
We
so
do.
But that's
Yeah.
why y'all love us.
I got you. That's why they love so many.
Tell
No,
them,
that's why they
Prada.
love so many of them.
Oh Lord,
Like
Them.
multiple.
not so many.
You know what I'm saying? Those emotions, that's why they keep getting them from all the girls and they can't stop. It's really about being the emotional compartment that needs to fill what your guy needs. You know all I need from a girl to keep me happy? Literally. Filling the voids that I don't do for myself that I know I need to and I won't. And you know what a girl's going to ask me to do? Well, you don't tell me. She's not going to figure it out.
That's what men say to me.
They don't figure it out. So what blows me about that, and I forgot who. Damn, I can't even call nobody out. I was watching this person, right, and they dated an entrepreneur, and he's super busy. And then I saw his girlfriend get up early. She got up at 3:30 to make him breakfast because he leaves the house at 4. Then she made him meal preps and say, I made you food because I know you won't be able to come home. Then she washes his clothes, takes his, does all the domestic stuff that we love, notices that his car was dirty. So she took his car while he was napping, went and got it washed. I'm not saying that's going to prevent you from getting cheated on.
It's not.
I'm not.
Because it didn't.
It's
No,
not
okay,
going to.
I'm not.
It don't.
But then we have to start. But before we get there, most women ain't even doing that. So before they jump on the every guy cheats train, majority women ain't even noticing what their man needs to do first. So he may be cheating just because you're not it. Like you're not the sauce that you think you are.
Right.
You're not doing anything. And so most women play the game of, well, I'm gonna do what he does. So if he gives me 90, I'll give him 89.
Lord, that's me.
Oh, he only give me 60?
That's me.
Well, I'm gonna give him 59. Oh, he ain't text me? Well, I ain't texting him back. Oh, he ain't say good morning? Well, I ain't reaching out.
But does that not fall into your energy? The energy you're giving me, I'm gonna give that energy
That's
back
not
to
smart
you.
for a woman to do. If you want him, go get him. Because guess
But
what?
why is he giving us
Because
60%
guess what?
energy but wants us to come get him?
Yeah, this is the game. It's manipulation.
Really
It's
But
a sale.
but what I'm saying is, okay, he's only giving me 60,
Okay.
and I'm giving him everything that I'm supposed to be giving him, and he's still not fucking with me.
Okay. Close the deal. If you're good.
You're right.
Go, if you're going to be on the sales floor and you want to close the car, understand he's not going to call you back and ask you to tell you to buy him the G-Wagon. You're going to call them, text them, heckle them, make sure they're good until they close the deal so you get your paycheck.
But why don't men close the deal instead of cheat?
What do you mean? They
Why
didn't
did-
close the deal. They already hit it.
No,
Isn't that also the ultimatum that we were talking about?
Oh,
You know, that
the
we
show?
don't want to give.
Yeah.
We don't want to give the ultimatum. That's it.
Well, when I think of the ultimate, I was thinking like in a relationship. Like when you,
that's
like
it.
what she did, she forced somebody to either pick.
I didn't force him. I gave him an option, and he chose to propose to me.
What do you think he felt? Thank you. Anyway.
Not the same way I felt, clearly.
Exactly. So he probably felt like he was backed into a corner. But what I'm saying is, so I'm going to tell you how I got to go get a girl. I'm going to text her. She's not going to respond. I'm going to follow her. She's not going to hit me back. I'm going to DM her. She's not going to read it. I'm going to call her. She's not going to say nothing. I'm going to see her. She's going to ignore me. And I'm going to have to stay on her ass for 6 months to get her out on a day. And I'm going to keep going and going and going and going and going until one day she comes home with me and sleeps with me.
Brian, it's not that hard.
What's not hard? No, it is for
girls
women.
Should not, no, but girls should respond to you sooner than what you're describing.
Yes.
Not when they got options.
I don't know. If
they're feeling you,
If you got Odell Beckham,
Exactly.
Tristan, you just gonna respond to your DMs?
if we're feeling
feeling
you, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
If
gonna
we're feeling
respond.
you, that's what
if
I'm
we're
saying.
feeling you,
What do you mean you're
options are
feeling?
not.
Hold on, when you feel,
It
how do you
don't-
know you're feeling
it
me? You don't
don't-
know me. How? What are you feeling?
Are you dropping
Maybe we
into
feel
our
your
DMs
looks.
without us knowing you? Or are you my trainer and you're dropping into my DMs?
No, I'm not the trainer because you know me. But you got to think about it. I guarantee you guys all open up your Instagrams right now and show me your DMs. How many motherfuckers are sitting in the request box?
Not too
So
many.
don't count.
Not
Zero,
too many.
but the people I know. Yeah, that's exactly
Not
right.
too many.
So you're not gonna co-sign?
Look, she's
Not too
quiet.
many.
Not too many.
No, seriously though.
If you're as a
I don't
woman,
think
So
It's
you.
about
So hold
options.
on. You guys are just not. Nobody's shooting a shot.
no.
It's not, that they're
not in my Instagram.
So
Not
guys,
in
your
my
so your
Instagram.
entire
No,
life,
they're
guys
shoot-
don't shoot shots.
No, they shoot their
No.
shot.
Your
Yeah.
entire life they haven't shot
They
shots.
shoot their
No,
shot.
they shoot their shots.
So this is what I'm saying.
I'm
Maybe your
too old for
Instagram's
that.
dry today, but in general, y'all have been shot at, and y'all can agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
I think what we're saying is women don't respond because we have options. I think we're not responding because we're just not feeling you.
Yeah.
how do you know you're not feeling them?
It's based off how you look.
Oh,
I mean,
Not-
interesting. How shallow?
No, that's not necessarily.
That's not?
I mean, yes.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah, keep it a bean.
But you're,
I like
okay,
to expose how
but
women
you're
are
not
shallow
gonna
too.
fuck with somebody unless you're attracted to them. Let's be.
Do you think that's
so
smart? Do you think
serious.
that's smart in the
Is
dating
it the
field?
smartest? No, but that's just
What?
how we are as humans.
No,
You're
no,
not
no.
gonna
That's how
want to-
women are.
You're
Men don't operate like that.
Yeah,
We
man.
know. We
No,
know.
we.
I mean, y'all just all over the place.
No. Men are
That's
all over
true.
the place. Men are smart. All they look
you
for
call
is
it-
sex.
would you
They
call
don't
it-
even look for commitment
Would you call it
How is that smart?
Right.
because they're not out here getting their hearts broken. Every guy that y'all deal with, y'all potentially want them for real. All the guy wants to do is
Is
sleep.
that not the point of dating?
You don't. Are you guys not? You're not realizing that you're losing with this mentality.
Correct.
You have to change
We
it.
got that.
But so you're saying we're just supposed to change our mentality to just
If
sleep
you want-
around, just
I'm not saying you don't have to sleep around. Just don't sleep in general. Then, if that's the game. But what I'm saying is, you have to understand that what she says. Well, I'm not going to give him the time of day because he's not attractive. Well, that's what guys do. They don't give girls the time of day if they're not attractive. Now what? Now let's go to phase 2. When y'all accept a date on somebody and y'all want to get to know them. Yeah, he wants to fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
So when does his art ever get put on the table?
I
to get
have
chopped?
been on plenty of dates with men who are not attractive.
really
Thinking, yes, because
Well, then you need to tell these girls that because I don't think that's how they
No,
move.
I've talked to plenty of men that are not attractive.
Attractive to who?
Me.
So you purposely went out a guy for a free dinner?
No,
But I do
no,
think-
it
I
was
do think-
purposely to get to know them.
Yes.
On a non.
Or is it because you weren't
level.
getting any
Yeah.
attention and your phone
No.
was dry, kind of like
No.
you said earlier?
I think that men
I
can
date-
become more attractive.
That's just a
if
no?
you
That's
get
just a
to
hard
once you
no.
get to know their
into them.
personality.
It's
I like
about
what
their
you're saying.
personality. It's
100%.
about their
Guys,
personality.
this is not mixing. It's about their personality, but I need to be attracted to him and he has to have sex right. The water and oil ain't mixing. It can't be personality.
Okay, we base it off of how they look.
Okay.
And when that don't work, we try.
That's cap. No, y'all don't.
Yes, we
No, you
do.
don't.
What are
No,
men?
you don't. That's a lie, Prada. They lying.
No, first of all, do y'all not try? If y'all can't get the badass bitches, do y'all not try to slide and get a 7 or 8? Yes.
Yes.
They
they
just
do.
try to F
Yes.
them. Guys, sexual market value is not the same as relationship market value. You are evaluating your husband. We are evaluating a partner for tonight. Stop looking at men and copying their
why
answers.
is that?
What do you mean? Why is it? You should be asking.
Why is it for tonight
What
and
is
not
the
like?
Because they don't care to get in a relationship. They can go to 50 years old. They don't have to get married.
Well, how can we find the men that are looking for long term?
Start thinking like a man
That's
and
what
you'll understand like one. You think like a woman and want to understand a man.
But I am a woman.
Oh, I'm here
Okay?
to
Just
sleep
know the world
around.
owes you no exceptions for you not getting the right answer.
Correct.
So
I mean,
until you start playing what I say empathy, you're going to continue to think like a woman and get results like
but
one.
I feel like.
Oh, there goes the word
listen,
feel.
No, listen.
Regardless of the stats, I feel.
I'm at a point where I am understanding that I have to look at a man and be like, okay, what can I bring to him? What does he need from me? But I feel like even when I do that, that shit don't matter.
Maybe it doesn't work.
What's the point?
No. Maybe what you're giving isn't working.
Okay.
Maybe it's not good enough.
Okay, so what
I'm
I'm producing is not working.
Maybe.
Okay.
Is that not an option on the table?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if I'm not bagging a girl, it's possible
But
that
if they're
Ryan,
still fucking with me,
you still getting
gotta be working.
Really? You think if they're still fucking with me, that something's working? We just
Well,
talked
I don't
about.
think that way,
Okay,
but-
all
I don't
right. We
think that
just talked about how guys literally are just looking for the
You're
smash,
right,
and
you're
now
right.
you're gonna say he's
But
still
that's
fucking.
what
with
I'm saying, though. If y'all are just looking to smash, what is the end goal? I mean, what are we doing here?
When they find their wife, what did you say? When a man knows, he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
But if he's smashing and he knows you ain't it, then.
So
why-
we just need
why-
to
hold on.
have fun with it.
Why
And
would the
just-
guys change? No, you know the real play? Women need to stop having sex with guys first.
Yes.
But that's not what y'all do. And you know
Yes.
your girls don't run like that. Y'all have sex before y'all get in a relationship. That's the
Oh,
problem.
But
Oh, okay.
men do that
She
too.
said-
Oh my God. Here goes the men do that too concept.
Y'all do the same. Did
Guys.
you not just say, I'm smashing for the night?
What was the great example that I talked about, Prada? When a man is ambitious and chases 10 million, it's attractive.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman does the same thing, it may not be attractive. Do we see how it's not an eye for an eye?
Correct.
So why can we not apply the same formula in this situation? You can, you just don't want to accept that
Correct.
it's the truth.
Correct.
So we have to understand that just because a man is spending time giving you attention, texting, does not mean he wants to give you his last name. And it's about time we start realizing what that looks like. The best indication is time.
But I think for women, it's just like, what is the point? You know, like, why
waste our
So are
time?
you guys are having sex with
This is
them,
a
though.
lot of game playing.
It is. It's all just a fuck.
Is it
That's
not?
it.
It's a mind fuck.
That's
Yes.
it.
Because like if I'm like real clear and lay out what I'm looking for, and you're real clear about what you're looking for, either it works or,
Or
it
it
doesn't.
don't.
I'm spending
Guys,
all this time with you just to fuck
are
you.
we really going to go into this cold world and assume that we are going to sit down and have an amicable discussion about what we're looking for in our future
In your 20s.
and that he has it?
In your 20s.
In their 20s.
But when you're in your 30s, it's like
When you
The
hit your
girls in their
30s and
20s want to
40s.
go to Vegas.
that's fine.
Let's not
They wanna
even
be in the
talk-
club.
Let's not talk about the
No,
girls in their
but like,
20s.
but like when you're in your like when you're my age and you're thinking about having kids and how realistic that is for you, and you're starting to think about freezing your eggs and IVF and
Yeah,
all this
yeah,
stuff.
for
Like
sure.
you don't want to fuck around with a guy.
I got you.
Who's like
Who just wants
not
to
on
fuck
your
around.
page.
Right. But the
Like
issue
let's
is
have a conversation. Let's be direct and let's communicate about what we're looking for. Because if it ain't it,
Direct.
I think
if it ain't,
Let's
I'm not
be
gonna, I'm not
honest.
gonna
But
waste
guys,
my
no,
time.
no,
Be
no.
honest
The issue
with
is
me.
guys aren't direct.
no. The issue is women don't accept red flags.
Are you guys putting them out?
Yeah,
Y'all just
everybody
handing them out
at
for
this
free.
table told me
get a
I
red
saw
flag.
a
You
red
get a red
flag and I didn't stop it. You were in a relationship. By year 3, you knew what was up and stayed for it for another 5.
Oh.
You guys are seeing the
That's hard
answers.
to hear, but girl,
you
I'm
just
in
want
your
them to be
boat.
vocal.
Yeah.
The answers aren't going to be vocal. Your teacher's not always going to give you the answer to the test. Why do we expect people, humans who have difficulty having hard conversations, to all of a sudden start when they're in a relationship with you?
Because they talk like they want to. They put on this front like, oh, I'm him, or be honest with me and be
So
upfront
what you're
with me.
basically saying is,
But then they're
guys
not
are
those
still
people.
guys can give you that simple game and you still gonna fall for it. The same game you fell for in middle school, the same game you fell for in high school, and now we're in our 30s and we still falling for the same shit they've been pulling.
I hate these fucking games.
It
It's
is.
games. It's
Take me
games.
out the
Look,
game.
But look,
Put
I
me on the
wouldn't.
bench.
I wouldn't call it a game. I would call it competition.
Is it competition?
I'm
I don't
already-
want
Story of the world.
I don't even want to
A
hear
competition
that.
with who? Competition means that they're
Lighten up the mood. We know y'all at the edge of y'all's beds, drinking a glass of wine, wondering is he out there or is she out there? And we want to give you a bit of hope that they are. Okay, so don't give up hope.
You sound like our therapist now.
Don't give up hope. Keep fighting. Your person is out there, so stay positive.
I'm fighting.
But let's go into our next question here. I guess we're gonna let the ladies answer this first, and then I'll clean it up with what I think guys think, since I'm the representative. Is accepting a drink disrespectful? And I'm assuming that's gonna be in a club, a bar, some type of social outing with friends. maybe a dynamic like that, and let's just say you have a boyfriend or significant other, or even somebody that you're exclusively talking to, is accepting a drink disrespectful. We'll start with you first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You can't be exclusive with someone or dating with someone and let somebody buy you a drink.
All right.
Because I feel like that's inviting that person in.
What about if you shut it down? You just take the drink.
If I just take the drink and then what?
And then that's it. Have a little conversation. You out of there. That's not okay.
Can't. Not if I'm really
Even if your man doesn't know.
Absolutely, I can't. It would be guilty conscience on my mind.
Cap, but all right. She's taking that drink. Prada, what you think?
I would accept the drink, but
She's not capping.
Let's be for real though.
She's not capping.
Let's be for real though.
here's the thing, though. I've never cheated on anybody, but I would say if I'm very clear with whoever's buying me the drink that, like, I'm in a relationship with somebody, I really appreciate and am flattered by your generosity. I will accept the drink if you want to give it to me, but I'm going to tell you where this stops.
What about if it comes with a number? Is that
Ooh.
okay?
No.
100% no.
No.
If you're buying me a drink because you just, like, you saw me dancing and you were like, you look really hot out there, or sweaty, or like you could use some water or whatever, like, and I'm going to buy you a drink, fine. But I would hope that whoever I was dating was okay with that. But
He's definitely not.
But I have never cheated on anybody.
I know, but he's definitely not okay.
But is buying a drink cheating?
If it's uncomfortable for the person that I'm dating to accept a drink from another man, I will 100% not do it.
So
Yes.
I guess you.
I
So
agree.
when,
So she's on
I
my
agree.
page.
so you
I
changed the
agree.
answer. It sounds like I pressured you to change it.
I don't know. I will accept it if it doesn't make him uncomfortable. If it makes
How would
him
you know, though?
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
How would he? Yeah, how would he know?
But guys, are we not giving? We're giving a lot
I think we would
of
have to
weight
assume it would
on
make him
having this
uncomfortable.
conversation stuff.
I love conversations.
I know, but you got to know guys aren't always
So do
having
you
convo.
think if you were?
Well, no, I ain't on the hot block yet. Y'all still answering.
I'm ready for you.
So,
too.
but you're hoping that you have the conversation. But what about if he just don't say nothing? He takes a mental note. If
Then I probably wouldn't accept it.
Okay.
If I felt like there was a question mark over whether or not he was okay with it or not okay with it, I wouldn't want to rock the boat.
So what would make you where would that question mark possibly come from?
You mean from him?
Yeah, you're saying if there was a question mark, but how would you ever know there's a question mark unless he
Like
said
if he,
something?
like for example, if he were out with me, I definitely wouldn't accept a drink from him.
Oh.
No, you can't. Why would even anybody
you
have
would.
the nerve?
What are you co-signing? She said if he's not there.
Oh, I thought she said.
But if he's not there, and the understanding is there that, like, hey, I'm in a relationship with somebody, so, like, if you want to buy me a drink, that's really cool, and I appreciate it, but it's not going anywhere. That's on me. But if that would make him uncomfortable, then I wouldn't accept it.
So if he was there, would you assume he's uncomfortable? Or would you assume that he's not uncomfortable? Like, what are you doing in the situation?
If he were there, I would expect him to buy me the drink and not whoever
Yes,
else.
correct.
Right?
Understood,
Five
but we're not.
very
We're punching a new. We're adding something new in there.
Yeah.
No, he's there,
He's there.
and somebody tried.
I'm not accepting a drink.
Yeah,
from
no.
anybody.
Absolutely not.
No.
So when
He's not there.
So if he's not there,
He's not there.
so you guys are so cool with him not being there and accepting the drink.
I'm
that he
not-
was
I
there.
didn't say I would
At all.
accept it.
Well, why don't y'all get on her for saying that? Then y'all
No,
jumping
I'm
on
not
me.
accepting
She
the
the
drink
one
at
that
all.
says she accepting the drink when you're not there. I'm not in
That's
fault.
her.
I love a guy buying me a drink.
She said that's her.
Look at that. Do you see the advice
no, I just
that these
told
ladies
you.
are giving and how inconsistent it is?
She's explaining why she wouldn't.
Why are you
wouldn't.
defending it?
The bottom
I'm
line
not
is that if
defending
it
it.
makes somebody else uncomfortable, I'm not doing it.
So okay. So if you you answer the question. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna put my input.
My answer is no. But
There
one,
or not there?
there or not there, but one, because like I've never accepted a drink from a guy, just because like safety. You never know, like if they put
That's
something,
a
slip
good
something
No,
in.
no. It's easier ways. It's easier way to get a drink. Like you go up to the bar with him. He
No.
orders. He says, "Put it on his tab," and we go here. He ain't gotta be the one to go get.
I'm
it.
not accepting the drink. Just out of respect.
Are y'all gonna really cap to me
I'm not
that y'all don't
capping.
go out and get a drink bought for y'all?
No.
We never said we don't accept them. You're asking us if we were in a relationship and someone offered us a drink.
That's not what she just said.
If I was in a relationship, I would not accept the drink.
No.
Out of respect. And I'm not
So
capping.
you're truly gonna tell me here,
Yes.
I promise you. I would
on
capping?
everything.
big cap.
Even if
I'm not accepting the
no,
drink.
even if I'm single.
Guys, I'm not even talking about what you are. Y'all have never accepted a drink from an individual, and y'all was in an exclusive situation with a guy.
I've never accepted a drink.
They are going
single.
to hang y'all on this TikTok with this comment there, because they're in.
Because I'm telling the truth.
That's one of the comments I'm letting y'all know right now. Done. They gonna finish y'all in the comments for that.
So you're
Well,
saying
finish
we've
me.
been exclusive and we've accepted a drink. That's what you're saying.
Yes, if you were out with your girls in the club, you,
And we were
and
really-
and y'all was turned,
Turned is the
and
question.
y'all just
Turned.
telling me a dude was like, "Oh, you and your
No.
girl, I got you." Y'all just said no.
We can absolutely
No.
say no. Yes,
I'm saying no.
Yes.
But I've been in that situation and had somebody send us like bottle service and like, that's okay with me.
She said.
Thank you, Prada. You're the only non-cap.
But I'm
Bottle
not.
You're the
service?
only con-cap.
But I'm
Not
not.
non-cap.
But I'm not like
No cap.
going home with you.
Yeah,
And I'm not,
I
like,
get-
the
I get you.
understanding
I was
is
keeping it
like,
surface.
You know what I mean?
I was keeping it service. Apparently, they just go out and swipe their debit cards nonstop to every club that they've ever been in and every relationship they ever. She was in a relationship for 7 years and just never accepted a drink. And those last 5 years that she was upset with that
No.
guy that she wasn't fucking with no more.
I own
Now
everything.
that's an extra cap. The nigga
On
that you didn't want to be
every-
with,
What is cap?
lying.
Like,
I wanted to be with him for 7 years, though. The first 7
This
years.
is a crazy cap, and it's so gentle. It's a-
I'm not
yeah.
capping.
On everything. I went out plenty of times without him and never, ever did.
I don't see it.
Well,
Ain't no way.
you had to be in the room.
I don't
with
know
me,
what. I
guess.
mean, unless y'all going to like hood clubs where they shooting and y'all just
it
scared.
was Edgewood.
But I don't know what
It
y'all
was
talking
Edgewood.
about. Okay, so that wasn't that good because there's a lot of cap on the panel right now. But we're gonna move forward. Okay, so and my answer to that is that I do think that's disrespectful. That a woman accepts a drink from a guy if they're in a situation. The issue is that they're gonna do it, and guys got to know that. And so I mean, if I see it's a dub, we done. I don't even play that.
So what if she doesn't and you don't know?
Well, I mean, if a
Eventually,
tree
yeah.
falls in the forest, do I know it makes? I just know it happens.
so what you're saying is that women, like the way that men feel, is that women shouldn't do that if they're in a committed relationship.
Nah,
It's
it's
a
disrespectful.
disrespect
It is.
thing for men.
Because as a dude who buying a girl a drink, I know what I mean. This game, the game is y'all make this shit so easy on these guys. I wish y'all gotta
Turn it up. a
turn up the
notch.
difficulty for these because now they moving this so easy. If he's buying you a drink, it's not because he thinks you're thirsty. Okay, guys.
Exactly.
I would hope that would start to
You've been dancing to
Yeah. Exactly. Which is why I would say no.
So it's clear as day. So the drink may just be a nice play. Doesn't have to go anything that way. But what y'all don't understand, men are used to running marathons. So we understand if I meet you and I buy you a drink, and this is why you shouldn't buy a drink with somebody you should not fucking with, period. Is because they're gonna assume that
And that's exactly
at
why
some
we say
point
no.
she rocked me, but that's funny you say that because I knew you were gonna be the first one to
Yeah,
answer.
that's exactly
This
why
is
we
the
say
same
no.
girl that says, "Well, if he's spending some time with me, he must care, right? If he's spending some time with the relationship, I must be doing something right." But he's sending you a drink and he's doing everything wrong. Is that not the same example on the opposite
Yeah,
end?
no, you have a point.
So you're accepting a drink and making him feel like he's getting a play, and you don't even want him. You just want the drink.
Right.
But then, so you understand that guys can do the same thing,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So
Exactly.
we have to know that the game goes
We
side to
don't even
side.
want the drink sometimes. We're just
That's what
trying
I'm
not to be
saying.
rude.
Well,
you know?
Absolutely.
Sometimes
Well,
we're
when
like,
you-
we can buy that drink ourselves.
No, I'm good. It's
Well,
okay.
I think women look. I think women should buy drinks when they go out. If you're really not on that type of time and you're not attracted, stop accepting drinks. Because first and foremost, I don't like when girls accept drinks in general.
I
know what I'm
honestly
saying?
cannot remember the last time that happened to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
We
you've been
pregame. We don't
You've been in a
need to-
relationship you've been in a relationship. You probably wouldn't have accept that drink.
But I mean, I'm
anyway.
not at
accepting
a
the
club
drink.
or a bar or whatever.
Yes,
I'm on an
it-
app,
Yeah.
right? So
Fact.
it's different.
I
By the
think a
time
guy
you go
buying
out
a
with
drink is
they're buying
somebody
you a
on an
drink.
exclusive date.
Yeah.
But just women I see it all the time. Women just be in the club accepting drinks left or right. I'm like, that's kind of corny because I'm going to be honest with you. Like, buy your own drink. We always talk about bringing
unsafe.
like it's like we want chivalry in some situations and then we want to be independent in others. It's like this is a great way to show me you don't need me.
Which club are you going to in Atlanta?
I mean, we can go to Umi right now. What you think it's going to
is
be?
that a club?
No, I'm just saying we can just go to an upscale restaurant.
Wherever. So you're saying that like men generally are offering to buy women
Yeah.
drinks wherever.
Wherever.
Be at a
That's the
casual
play.
bar before dinner, whatever.
That's the
They're just
play.
trying to-
Especially if they're single and they think you're attractive.
But I
That
think
drink is
if
coming for
women,
that.
as we understand that the men's play on that drink is that does it end in a drink, it's a different situation.
It never ends up.
Well,
Right.
you just should this is what I'm saying. Empathy should kick in and say the drink is always for some bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always.
So
That's
I'm
why
not
we're not
accepting it.
accepting.
That's why I co-sign
That's
never
weird.
accepting a drink.
Quality
That-
people.
That's why I say we
Quality.
never accept a drink, period.
No.
Unless you are truly interested.
Yes.
Get in the habit of never accepting a drink unless you're interested.
That's right.
Yes.
It's a good practice in general because now you guys can. Because what was the difficult part about not accepting a drink? Well, we don't want to hurt his
Paying
feelings.
$15 for your own drink.
No. But I would say, but what y'all were saying, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. But see, this is the thing. These are the things that women need to practice. Practice hurting feelings. Practice it. You don't get better at it unless you practice it.
Right.
So how many things in life are you going to go through that's going to hurt people's feelings that you really need to have the discussion about?
But it's scary for
Now imagine this.
women. to
It's
hurt
scary
men's
for somebody you
feelings.
don't know to tell them the truth.
True.
So no wonder it's so scary for y'all to tell somebody you do know to tell them the truth.
See, I don't think that's the case. I think it's the opposite. I think it's so easy to tell somebody the truth that you don't know.
No.
'Cause-
That's not what this is. You said it. You said, I don't want to tell him because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. The guy that you don't know.
when to deny him the opportunity to
To buy
buy
a
me a
drink.
drink.
Isn't that because you didn't want to hurt his feelings?
No, it's
Well, that's what you said.
I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with it as long as he understands that I'm in a relationship with somebody.
Yeah, but that's a lot of discussion.
ends.
All that dialogue ain't happening.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
All that,
happening.
it's a quick thing like, hey, can I buy you a drink?
And that's it.
You're hoping
you
we
wanna
have
know,
this
you can buy me a
dialogue and
drink.
this discussion again. I just want you to know it's loud.
Because I'm in therapy. Okay.
You may not get the opportunity to get that 10-minute
So if
delivery.
that's the case, then you can't buy me
Chop
a
it.
drink.
Don't buy the drink.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it's scary to reject men these days.
Yes, well, I think women are scared to reject
Yes.
them. But
Why?
Yes.
Why do you think it's scary?
because they don't want to be alone.
Yeah. I mean, but also there's
Because you were afraid. Are you afraid of rejecting the wrong man because you're afraid of being alone?
no, because some men you never know how they're gonna react when you reject them.
In what sense?
But if you don't know them, why do you care?
Because you never know how they're going to react. I mean, they could become violent with you. I mean, I've heard plenty of stories about that. When men reject or when women reject men, they become violent.
do you know how to reject somebody amicably and respectfully?
I feel like no matter how you reject them, if it's a reject,
Stop.
you never know how they're going to react.
Well, I'm not. Yes, you will never know, but I mean,
To me, it's just scary, period.
but where's the fear built off of?
I mean, just from stories all around that you hear from men rejecting women and then them being killed.
But don't you think the
Have
story?
you experienced something like that?
Me personally, no.
But don't you think? Of course, you're gonna hear. It's like a review. Of course, you're gonna hear about the 5 reviews, but understand there was 425 5-star ones. So to make the assumption that, like, over time you get better at handling rejection.
Yeah.
And over time you get better at handling a 1-star review. And over time you get better at letting somebody know respectfully, like, hey, I'm not interested, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But you guys keep avoiding the things that actually will help you in the long run. Because so I don't even think it's we're scared of a rejection thing. I think women overall are scared of anything that will hurt them.
Absolutely.
And they avoid it.
Absolutely.
And
Well, discomfort, just general discomfort. Like if,
Well,
if this is going to be an uncomfortable conversation,
But this
I
is
might
not-
avoid
Yes.
it.
yeah, but guys, this
You
is
know?
not the world. Like, what are y'all building your own planet? Y'all gonna move to it too?
Yes.
Fucking A. Like
Uncomfortable conversations.
I'm assuming
are
that
part of
we're.
it, but they're
I'm
just
assuming we're.
uncomfortable.
I'm gonna be the first resident there.
I see.
I have people in my
Hopefully
circle.
they don't have men up there.
People in my circle call them sweaty back conversations. Like you're just
Yes.
But guys, but look, you can have those because you've had them before. Because I know because you're a high earning entrepreneur that's responsible for a lot of people. So what's the most important product when they walk into your place? Your customer. So you're not going to let anything get in between that. If one of your staff members are those people, you have a discussion with them because you won't let them impact your business. So you can have that discussion.
Yes, it comes with a lot of experience. But
So why don't you choose to have it?
Oh, I totally can now.
No,
I'm 38.
No, not in that
ready.
setting.
At Umi, I'm ready to tell a
Oh,
man
yeah.
I don't want
want
to drink
your
from
drink,
you
right.
because I'm with somebody else.
Right.
In fact, I'm gonna be there tomorrow night with somebody else.
So
Right.
I think you. I mean, I do think you would handle that situation properly. Especially, what about if you had the right man around you? Like for you to say no. What about if you dating your guy, and a guy tries to offer you a drink? So now you gonna be concerned more about how he may react. What about how your man gonna react?
Right. But I would hope that in that sense he would.
Hope. There it goes.
It's empathy.
There's that empathy.
Hope, y'all. Shout out to the Hope Squad.
I ain't saying hope ever again.
Ever again. So what about the Hope scholarship?
That he would protect me in the sense if I had to reject that man, my man would have my back.
Right. So, but you would have to assume that, right?
Yeah.
So how come you don't assume that in others? Why do you just assume that's going to happen? Why don't you assume that the guy that you're rejecting may handle it right?
Because I know the guy that I'm with. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Well, surely I would know the guy that I'm with.
right. So you don't, I mean, this would have to be consistent all across the board. Like, do you always operate in a sense of fear that something will go wrong?
No, I mean, I just operate in a sense of like you never know.
But that sounds like fear to you.
essentially, yeah.
Like
I mean, essentially, yeah, I guess
that may
so.
not be to me, but it's fear for
She's
you.
being
Yeah.
protective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
That
so.
word again.
Yeah, you can say
Women,
protective.
women
you
are
can
very,
say fear.
yeah,
I
very
mean, yeah.
protective.
But that comes from what? Stories, all
Yeah.
these other outside
Yeah.
variables that are creating
Yeah.
this thing in your head. But do we
Yeah.
possibly could be overthinking this? No,
Oh yeah.
is that an
That's
option?
true. That's true.
Yeah.
So
Here's where the overthinking comes from, like a lack of communication.
Amen.
Because, like,
no, that
Honestly,
That's it right there.
If y'all
It
are
is lack
all
of
mature
communication.
enough to have this conversation ahead of time, then you avoid all the bullshit.
but we have to understand people may not always be in a setting where communication is the number one thing in their household. If you grow up in a
Correct.
household where your father slaps your mom around and they don't talk about shit and your dad doesn't
but
want to
how
talk
can we
about it.
get them to a place to be able
Guys,
to do that?
our job on this planet is not to be diagnosing projects. It's for us to live our lives.
Right.
If you want to give back to the community, go create a 501(c) and make that the focus point. But if you're trying to find a man, the best way and the fastest way is to learn the game and play it. So we're spending too much time on trying to develop every person we date, every person we deal with, every person we run into, and try to fix them, which seems to be a theme here, that we're trying to fix people that are clearly showing us they're broken. And then we get into then we get
We're not trying to fix nobody.
Then we get in a situation where our emotions start taking over and we like this person, and now we're concerned about how they feel, how they're going to react. And then what is the key that she said? Well, we start losing ourselves, more
Yes.
concerned about somebody else. Well, guys, you are literally taking the perfect steps to do that every time. And if just saying I can't accept a drink is a difficulty, I know if you get in a bullshit relationship, I know it's impossible to walk away. He gonna have to cheat for you to leave. You ain't even gonna leave it. You ain't even gonna leave it. She been in a relationship for 5-7 years. They don't leave until you do cheat. It was bad before.
I mean, he
the
didn't cheat
cheating is the blessing. To be honest,
It is,
It
though.
hurts, but y'all
Yeah.
don't walk away any other time
It
until
is.
that dick goes in somebody else's vagina. Y'all sticking around for the bullshit, and it shouldn't take that, y'all.
No,
That's
it's
a wrap.
right.
That's a wrap.
Gotta go.
We're done. That's it.
Bing bong.
Not bing bong.
All right, what was the next one? Okay, if your significant other sexual score is not where you want it to be, how long are you staying in that relationship? Are you staying at all? You are killing me with this
Sorry,
phone.
I apologize.
Me too.
Can you please put the phone down?
Yes.
Thank you. Sexual partner, are you staying? How long are you staying? Or are you just flat out leaving?
Based on how many bodies they have? Ain't that what you said?
What? Why was my question met with a question?
Well,
Once again, if I could finish,
okay, I apologize.
if the person you're with, your significant other's sexual number is not where you want it, are you staying with that person? If you are staying, how long? And if you're not staying, how long before you leave?
But you're saying body count though.
Are you confused about my question?
What do you mean?
What's
when you
the
say
beginning
sexual
of the
number?
question? Sexual number means body count, right?
No, like if he's good at sex, dude,
Okay.
not his number. So if your
Okay.
dude can't sling the dick, are you staying, guys?
Okay.
Do you get it now? Like, God, I try to ask it professionally on the camera, and you just got to just get down and dirty. In
You
here,
said
I see.
sexual number though.
I
Yeah.
was confused also.
Thank you, Prada.
Like if it's 1 through 10 and he's a 4, just like if her attracted level is a 2.
Okay, so if a
So-
girl was giving it to you and she don't know
Why
what she's
am I
doing
getting
with
a question?
Because we want to know from you first. You go first.
No, I'm the host of the show. What the hell? So
I'm not.
Prada, what are you saying?
If the sex is not good,
Yeah.
am I staying?
Yeah. And if so, how long? And if no, how
And
long?
don't cap.
I think the only person we got to worry about capping in here is y'all two. You
So
about the drinks and you about the relationship.
let's back it up. So for women, I think the issue when it comes to sex, and for me, I'll speak for myself. For me, the issue is an emotional connection. So I'm not like a guy who can just like.
You're not a guy.
No, but
What do you mean?
I think that sometimes men have the ability to just make it completely physical, and women have to feel connected. So like with the guy that I dated, he would like fly into town and be like, "I've got 24 hours or 12 hours before I leave again. Like, make it happen." And I'm like, I haven't seen you in 12 days, and I'm not feeling connected to you at all because we've been on 2 different time zones. We haven't spoken while you've been out of town, and like it doesn't just happen like that for me. So for me to have like great sexual chemistry with somebody, I have to be emotionally connected to them,
Yes.
That comes with age, I think, too.
right?
I think that comes as you get older. Don't.
Okay,
It
but
does.
Don't come with age.
But being
No.
communicative with each other and just like clear about
course,
what makes the other
communicative.
person. I'm a big communicator. Like I'm in therapy.
No, you're good.
But just being clear with what the other person's expectations and needs are and being able to meet them. And it works both ways.
Is that like you have a discussion like that? Like a full, I want to discuss what you want, and
Sometimes.
how does that, I mean, is there chemistry after this? Like there's no way y'all having sex after that.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean,
The right man.
to me it's
Have you
just
met
like,
yours? All right then. So what are you talking about? You don't even know.
I've had that, but
If I meet the right one, I'll know.
Well, it's safe to say that you haven't.
It's safe to say
All
I
right.
haven't.
So nobody in here has met the right one.
I think sometimes it happens really natural, and sometimes you have to have a conversation about it because if you're both used to different things, or you're not familiar with each other and what your styles are, then you.
But
have to have a conversation about it.
isn't the element of not knowing the attractive part? I don't even want I don't want discussion. I just want to see what happens when
For sure,
the
but, like, not after 7
non-communicative
years.
thing. Huh?
Yeah.
That's you viewing it as a man.
Huh?
At the beginning, for sure.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
over time, you guys just start having full-blown discussions, like a meeting.
I feel like men
No.
don't care
That's
about
crazy.
the emotional connection.
They don't.
Huh?
No, it's just
Men
like
don't care about the emotional connection. I feel
You
like
got. I think you guys are just assuming that men don't care about the emotional section.
We're
I
assuming.
mean, men usually
men are
say they
very
just fuck for a
physical.
nut.
you
They're-
just
they're-
literally
you're
said
very,
we
like-
want to smash for
We
the
just
night.
want to smash.
Okay,
the night.
guys, I'm gonna give y'all some real game.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh,
They
God.
They gonna cancel me for this. I don't know as much as I hear these concerns when it comes to men and how they're just physical, et cetera, we have to put on the table that it's a possibility that women are not good at sex also. And women just automatically assume that they are. And sometimes guys are not going to have a sit-down discussion about it. They will get what they will remove their emotion from someone to just get that thing out of it, but it's not worth a discussion to them. And they will continue to go hunt and find what is their sexual chemistry, and it will never be a discussion. So, girl, I don't really know what the like. I think it's very clear about like guys know in the back of their head, oh, I can't come in 2 seconds. I gotta eat her out, then I gotta flip her over like a goddamn turkey and then spin it on the heels and turn it. Like the amount of pressure that a guy has to do to be sexually not talked about around the girls in the group chat is 10x. Y'all don't even know what that feels like, sounds like. That's cap. There's not a group text about that you're scared of that guys are texting about, oh my God, she's not good. But just know that it exists and know that you'll never know that a man will have sex with you even though you're not good at it. And so what happens is women, when you're not told you're not good at something, you don't focus on getting better at it. And so women, how do they ever get better?
I am
They don't.
dying. I am dying.
That's going to go viral, by the way. That response go viral. So we hold the gun to the guy's head, but y'all keep saying it's not emotional. It's like, guys, it's possible you wasn't like that. And I'll be an advocate. Like, there's some girls I'm like, yo, I'm never not smash. I don't want to smash nobody else. There's some girls that you will put in your head that literally, I'm like, I don't want to have sex with nobody. She's fire. And there are some girls I've had sex with be like, I'll be texting somebody tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not saying that's the case here. Right. I'm just saying that happens. Every woman ain't good. Every woman, the structure, she may not know what to do.
I think they know that, though.
And every man ain't good.
You saying every woman knows? They're not
They
good?
should know.
I don't think every woman knows. Just
that's
like
crazy.
every man don't know.
But what's crazy is I would accept full possibility, responsibility that there's no way I could even be like, oh, no, I'm amazing at sex. I would never say something like that. The first thing you said out of that whole comment is that, well, I think they know. Well, that's putting the onus on who?
But
somebody else. Again, you're not accepting responsibility that you could not be good at.
They should accept responsibility for themselves and know.
Who?
The people. The people.
But that's not you accepting responsibility that you're not good at sex. You don't even want to expect that's a responsibility. And most women, they don't want to accept that.
I accept it.
It's very possible that you're not good and you think you are.
But this is a conversation.
It's a conversation.
It's a conversation.
But this is a conversation that y'all nobody gets. Girls don't get this conversation.
Correct.
When's that? Who's ever going to tell you this?
Right.
But also not all men are
Right.
good.
Yeah, but I think it's clear because you guys put it all over the world that they aren't good. Believe me, guys aren't assuming they're good. Y'all let them know immediately.
But that's where we come back to the emotional connection, though.
You say it's
Desi.
emotional, but then you play him.
Desi, did you not just let that man know the other night?
Oh, see?
Let him know what.
Stop the cap.
Let him know what. Let's talk about it.
He was quick.
See? What?
I let him know.
That's what I'm
She
saying.
let him know.
But have you ever heard, nah, you ain't like that?
No, she ain't.
All right, then.
If they ain't want
It's
to
a
tell me,
double
they
standard.
don't want to tell me. But I'll tell you.
So you take that, but then so when,
I accept if I'm not good. But if you don't tell me, that's on you.
okay. So if you don't
but
tell,
I'm going to tell you.
all right. Okay, so it's been a long one, y'all. How many? What was that? 4 segments? That was 2 hours. 2 hours of record time.
A full bottle of wine.
Full bottle of wine.
Whiskey.
About half a bottle of whiskey.
Full bottle of whiskey.
And then, so this is gonna be our last segment here. We didn't ask, do you want to get married? I'm just gonna assume that's an easy question. Yes. Oh, y'all want to get married? Okay, you made a face. What about finding somebody that's gonna love you forever, that'll sit by you, by your side, raise children with you? What doesn't sound good about
Did
that?
I want that for a really long time? Yeah. But do I want that now?
Why doesn't what I just described sound good?
It sounds amazing. Is it what I want? Is it what anybody wants? Yes. But after you want something for so long, you stop like pursuing that in a certain way.
I never heard of that.
I don't know. It just it hits different for me now because I wanted to for a really long
you've
time.
Well, you didn't. Well, pull them up.
Not necessarily necessarily that I'm giving up.
Pull the mic closer. You're like way back.
Not necessarily that I'm giving up, but I just, if it don't happen, that
You're okay with it.
I'm accepting of that. If it doesn't happen.
Okay, how do you feel? Do you want to get married?
I do want to get married.
You a baby, that's why. Prada?
100%. I want to get
100%.
married.
See, something about, I think if you really want something in life, then that should be the focus. Mm-hmm. And so when you say two answers, hey, I want to get married, but I'm okay if it doesn't happen, that's already not even the right mindset. Mm-hmm. And so if the mindset's not right, then you're going to be accepting of subpar effort into possibly getting this thing that you kind of want, but you don't really want it. So everything just becomes super monotone. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think as competitive, and you guys don't want to compete and say, I'm not competing with no girl, whatever. The numbers are saying if the ones that want it are still hunting and searching and grinding to find it, how the hell is somebody who says, I'm okay with it not happening, going to find it? You might as well just say no.
I guess so.
You got to be honest.
Do you want to get married? Do you want to be married?
Guys, how are we getting?
We just want to know from your perspective.
Yeah, but it's got to go the way that podcasts go. It's got to be like fully developed, digested, answered all angles, and then we move on for the topic. It can't go boom, 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 boom. It's not a pinball machine. So continue to go.
I don't know. I wanted it for so long, and the passion was there, and I've chased it, and I've seen it, and I've gotten so close. That I'm kind of...
You would truly be content with not getting married and being alone.
No, she's just realistic now.
I think that's a self-protective thing.
I've come, as I'm learning with myself and growing into certain things and looking at different perspectives, I have to understand at some point in my life, this is an option. I may not
But it's
get
always
married.
been one.
Correct.
Correct. You know it's an option for her, right?
Correct. And we grow up thinking we have to get a husband, we have to have a family, we have to do this. So
But that's a good mindset to have.
Correct, it is. But when that doesn't start clicking, then what do you do?
But see, this is what happens.
You have to start accepting.
No. That's not true. See, this is what I think. This is another bubble situation.
Okay.
That because you are able to tell yourself that because you are not necessarily held accountable if it doesn't happen.
Correct.
And so if I was told, Brian, if you do not make $50,000, your family's not going to eat. I know it's an option that I may not, but I'm not going to be able to say, well, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it's cool. So it's just not important for you to make it work is the real answer. Okay. And the only reason that happens is as we grow older, sometimes it starts camo. I'm on a podcast. As we grow older, it should work in our favor, and sometimes it starts working against us.
Correct.
You're a kid, you think you can be the president. You think you can be a superhero. You think you change the world. Put a couple years on it, you think you're too fat. You think you're too slow. You think you're too dumb. Put a couple more years on it, you think you're going to be single. You think you're never going to marry, never going to have kids. But it's like you have to protect yourself from that type of mentality and at least support the things that you wanted when you were a kid. You starting to let these dreams go just because of time, and that's not real.
I mean, here's a little different perspective though. If you if you are looking for a certain person to hitch your wagon to, or to be in a committed relationship with, or in a marriage with, and you don't find that person, I think what English may be saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like, if I don't find that, I'm not going to compromise my standards just for the sake of getting married.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, I love that. Oh, great segue.
Correct.
Define standards. Because I've heard a couple today that ain't standard. It's superficial and shallow.
Well, but here's A, B, and C. Here's what I'm looking for in a partner. If I don't get that, I'm not going to compromise that to say, okay, well, this is good enough. I just want to be married for the sake of being married, and I'm going to overlook these things that I'm not okay with.
Well, no, but guys, we have to be realistic. You cannot demand what you demanded at 21 at 35.
Right.
Market. Well, you keep saying right,
well, what are the demands?
But no one's saying that.
Well, I want my guy to be 6 foot. How tall you want your guy?
At least 6 foot plus.
That's superficial. Beyond the superficial.
Well, don't tell me that. Tell her that.
Oh, sorry. But like beyond.
See, there goes that no accountability in the women's circle. They tell me something she should hear.
But
I know it's
why
superficial.
can it not be okay for me though at this point in my
For
life
that
to be
accepting?
accepting?
But is that a deal?
Hold on. I love that you
breaker
just
for
said that. You said it is okay. Bad advice. Okay, keep going.
But is it a deal breaker for you? Like, yes, we would.
Yes.
Yes, I would love to date a man who was 6'6"
Right.
because I'm 5'11". Like, but is it a deal breaker for me?
Yes,
No.
it is. It is for them.
It's not for me.
Why you keep pointing at me?
Because I know you, and I know you're going to cap if somebody don't call you out.
No, I want mine 6.
But why is that
It's
not
like to
okay?
me, I think it's whatever you want, you want.
No.
Yes.
That's okay.
Stop saying that. Call them out.
But why is that
'Cause
not okay?
That's
If the
her
fact
standards.
that her standard is that she wants a man who's 6'6",
A height is not a standard.
It's a preference. Is that what
It's
you're
a
saying?
preference
Okay.
that is shallow and it will cost you being happy on your deathbed. That's what 6'6" will do. 1% of the planet is 6'6". Are y'all serious?
6'6" is far fetched, but
Maybe like
The average height
But
in
you
America.
want to date somebody that's
6'6"
taller
is
than
very
you?
far fetched.
Not difficult.
no.
Not
talking-
difficult.
To date somebody that's
You
taller.
talking
The average
NBA.
height in America, guys, is 5'9" for a man.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
What does her height have to do with the numbers?
Well, she's just saying she wants to date somebody taller than her.
Yeah, the world doesn't owe her that.
Well, you want to know what's
What the
funny?
hell? I don't care how tall. She can be
just-
7 foot. Doesn't mean you're gonna find a 7'9" man.
No, listen.
But it's
I
realistic.
just gave a man that's 5'10" an opportunity, and he fucking ghosted me.
Okay,
So,
awesome. What does that have to do
I'm
with?
just saying though.
What
We're
are you
sitting here
saying?
talking about height as a preference, and I took that out of the equation.
You did it one time. Whoop-de-doo.
No, not
You
once,
swung the
one
bat
time.
one time, and now you're throwing the game out.
But I'm saying though, I went.
What are
out
you
of my
saying? It's not even a
standards,
fact.
though. I'm just
You
saying.
went out your standards.
I tried.
It's not a standard. It's a shallow way of looking for love. And no girl calls it out. You guys call it preferences and standards, and it's BS. It's a shallow way, and it will cost you being in a relationship. Honest to God. There are ain't shit pieces of shit that will cheat on you every night that are 6'7". Stop saying that. And y'all girls got to call that crap out fast. Stop letting your friends say height is a standard. Stop letting your friends say weight is a standard. A standard is who he believes in, what he provides, how he treats his family,
His values.
love. If women could date with their eyes closed, they'd be so much happier. The issue is y'all walk around with your eyes open, and that's the most deceiving thing to being in a relationship.
But do you think that women are the only people who do that?
Well,
I was just about to say that, Prada.
but your leverage point is always that the guys do it too. But you don't understand that we are an advantage. It's not an eye for an eye, and you guys want to make it so equal.
But would y'all be able to date with y'all eyes
But
closed?
guys, we have an abundance. I don't care what height my woman is. That's why I win. I don't care how much money my woman makes. That's why I win. I don't care what race she is. That's why I win. I don't care where she went to school. That's why I win. I don't care about none of that. Anything she needs, I can pay for it, fix it, and take care of it. She can work at Taco Bell. The issue is, look at what y'all want. So do you really wonder what the numbers are? My girl dated at worked at Bar Vegan as a restaurant thing, and I picked her up from the club. So what's up? Don't even say that.
That's not Taco Bell though.
It doesn't. I'm telling you, I didn't care if she worked at Taco Bell. I don't care if she works at Walmart.
I
Because
don't think that's fair, but like
no, it's fair, but it's really the way you should date.
But for some people, to me, it's not about where you work as much as it is your ambition. I talked about that earlier. Like,
But ambition is. Remember,
I want to know that you're. I want to know that you're a provider. Like, I want to know that you're going to take care of me.
Can we not?
Can we say that ambition is a standard? But do you want better
Yes.
than Walmart?
No, I don't agree with that.
Why not?
Guys, ambition, is that what y'all wanted to see, right?
We're talking about ambition.
Ambition is not results. That's like asking for potential.
But it's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
You're not attracted to mindset, you're attracted to results. If you're attracted to mindset,
Yes, but if you've got ambition, you're gonna get results.
it's not
Correct.
true.
I think so. Every man
Do you know?
I've
Do you know
dated-
how many first round draft picks get drafted in the NFL and flop?
But that's different. Like, I mean,
You
what are the
compare-
chances? What are the chances of going pro in the NFL? What are the? What, I mean, it's like
Right.
1%. You know, but could you
Do
have
you know
like?
do you know how many millionaires are on the planet? 1%.
Okay.
Big,
I mean,
Bing bong.
but I've dated him. But I've dated him.
I'm saying,
So it's like-
but you got to understand. And this is if we not do the numbers game, that's not probability. But you're hopeful that you'll just find another one, right?
I'm not looking for a millionaire.
I didn't say you're looking for a- but
I'm
look
looking
how it's
for
happening.
somebody who's ambitious, like
has-
who's
yes.
not going to look at me and say, "I'm okay being a stay-at-home dad because I know you're the shit."
But that's an extreme. You like
That's
went far
happened to
left.
me. That's
I'm not saying it
happened to me.
hasn't, but like then pick in between that. Pick in between the guy that wants to stay at home and the guy that wants to make 10 million, and that's an average guy.
Well, I just want somebody who is fully capable of making a good amount of money and supporting a family who's
It's a
not an
very
asshole.
small percentage of men can make money that can support a family. The average income in the United States is $50,000 a year. And so, you just eliminated what? If it's the average. Average.
Well, then we're looking for above average on this.
Understood,
podcast.
but now we have to ask ourselves, what are the women above average?
yes,
Okay, what
I
makes
would think so.
what makes a woman above average?
and I guess it depends on what the men qualify.
I want to
as
know what
above
women
average.
think is it above average for a man.
Wait, is it above average for a woman?
What does a woman think is above average from a man?
Like, so what do we give?
Like as me,
men
what is above
that
average
makes
for
us
me?
above average?
They never have that answer.
I got that answer.
Okay, you go.
ahead.
You
Because I'm
go.
the fucking shit.
You go.
That's
No, I
it.
don't know the answer.
What's above average for a woman from a man?
From a man, from a woman.
Oh gosh,
I'm thinking.
shouldn't be this long. I thought it would have been on the hip. No?
I mean, Prada.
Oh, they just depended on their captain here to just
Does
save
he?
the team,
No,
guys.
no. I think that it depends on the man, but I think that
In general,
Yes.
when I look
It
at
does
my
depend on the
family
man.
dynamics and how I grew up, what was attractive to my dad is to have a wife who's my mom. My parents have been married 40 years, but what was attractive to him was to have a woman who was able to kind of hold down the fort at home while he was doing his thing.
you think that's above average?
I don't know. I think that everybody's understanding of what is attractive is kind of based on your experience. Like if I look at a marriage like my parents, has lasted 40 years, and I say, okay, what worked, what didn't work.
But don't you think the environment and not in the environment, yes, the environment, but also the responsibility and all the exterior variables that they were dealing with when they're in their time. It's far harder to find what your parents had for 40 years now.
Correct.
If your parents
Yes.
did what they did today and started from here to 40 years, it couldn't have been the same stuff that would have been
It's
worked then.
different.
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm
very
saying. We
different.
can't even really use it's like trying to use an iPod in 2023 that just doesn't work no more.
It is different, but I want to say that like my parents, I look at my parents and say, okay, they understood what their roles were in their marriage.
But the gender roles are different.
The gender roles. So my dad was the provider. My mom was like the caretaker. The
So you
nurturer,
changed it.
right?
You've already changed that dynamic.
But that's because in our generation, I feel like women have tackled careers much more so than they did when.
So does
in
that
my
help
mother's
y'all or does that
generation.
hurt y'all?
Well, it depends on what men are looking for. But to me, that's
But
not
in general.
the point. I think for me as a dentist, like in having my own practice and having a career and having a business, I can very well like kind of maneuver to be a wife and a mother and be a business owner and not have anybody suffer. Like I know
But
how
that's
to navigate
if they
that.
get to that point with you. The issue isn't even what you can do when we're locked in. The issue is, damn, am I going to get the shot to show them that?
But do men value that? I guess is my question. Like, do men value women who are able to be all things to all people?
No.
Well, it's not that I don't think we disvalue it or not. That it's not. It doesn't. That it's not that it doesn't hold value. It's just not the decision maker.
What is the decision maker for
Well,
men?
then I mean, it's initial. The same things that women are initially. Are you attractive? Do you bring good energy? Things like sexual. You have to think shallow first, then go deep. Y'all think deep, then go shallow. So then we get upset that men, why they think like that? Well, sweetheart, we got to jump into 6 foot before we get into 12. Women go straight deep in. Well, can he handle this? Is he going to be a good father? He needs to understand, but we never get to the shallow.
But that's because women and men are wired completely differently.
But guys,
Like,
what's the key?
Look at history. Look at like, conquistadors, and look at like people who conquered, entire, I don't know. It's just men are conquerors. They operate from a position of power. Women want to feel secure. They want to feel taken care of.
But the women aren't doing
They
that
want to feel
anymore.
nurtured.
The women are becoming what the men do.
That's a stereotype, because that's not true. Like, I look at myself and I look at my sisters. I have 3 sisters who aren't married, and we're all raised by the same mother, and we are all raised to be the same women, and somehow we're having a hard time finding men who either appreciate us
But don't
or
you guys,
value us.
I think the possible perspective is that you guys look more at what your mom is to your dad than look at your dad is to your mom. That's the issue that y'all are having. Y'all issue ain't being the mom.
That's an actual great
The
way to
issue
look
is
at it.
finding the dad. So you don't know how to find your father. You just know how your mother is.
But what do you mean, like looking for a father?
So like
father
the
figure?
tangible things, the attributes that your father have that attracted your mother is really the answer to the test.
Yes, that's
but
what
you
they
guys are
say.
really focused on the mother.
Yeah, but my dad would never cheat on my mom.
Well, I mean, we have to separate the cheating because we just spoke about how cheating and sex is shallow for men. It's not as important. So we can't always answer the question with cheating because we're never going to put ourselves in a position to be with somebody who doesn't cheat.
Well, it is different for their generation than it is for our generation, for sure. But like, I think that women are just like, I think they're wired differently, and we're wired to be.
No, I'm agreeing that you guys are wired different. But I'm saying the key is to be wired who you are and understand the wiring of the man.
Correct.
100%. That's the successful marriage.
But the women don't care to learn that.
That's not true.
Well, I just asked. I
wouldn't
asked
say
you guys
that.
a lot of questions of how men think, and you guys didn't know the answer because you guys don't know the wiring.
But that's a communication thing, because like we met
It
this. We
is.
might not necessarily understand how you think, but like I'm open as a woman. I'm open to you saying, "Hey, honey, like this isn't working for me, and this is why, and this is what I need you to do to make this work for me." And I'm
I
like
love
100% on board.
I
Men
just
don't
want,
do that.
I want to be so honest with you guys and be so truthful. And I'm a good guy, and I'm not gonna be doing all that cap shit. We are not having a discussion.
Then you're not having a substantial relationship.
But most women want to be good. Most women want to be good women.
100%.
So it's not hard to find one. Most men don't want to be good men.
Well,
So it's always going to be hard to find one.
so how do we
Sounds like
change
a
that narrative?
Take two. This is like a second podcast.
How do we change that narrative?
What? The
You
narrative.
can't change the narrative.
The narrative, but I think
How do we?
It's the
It has
Can't
to be.
change
it's not
the
about.
man.
Thank you.
But we're sitting here
You're not
talking
getting
about
it. You're not getting
trying.
it. You're
Y'all
not
are
getting
not
it.
trying.
You're not getting it.
If you're
You're not going to get it with that
The
mentality.
wrong man then.
You're not getting it.
we're
Do you
sitting
know-
here
do you know-
talking about growth, and you're
just
sitting here
but-
saying a man's perspective is only this way. How do you grow?
Because he has abundance. You're assuming that the man is shooting blanks. He's not
but the
winning.
abundance does not mean all of that abundance is
For
even quality.
you. If I have 6 women in
To
my,
him, it cannot. It doesn't necessarily mean it's quality.
how are you gonna sell me?
I just think that the standards are different. What you're
They
saying
all-
is like the
I-
standard for a woman is different than the standard for a man.
Yes, and are you guys saying that it should be even and equal?
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm just here to tell you it's
It's
not.
not. You're right.
I wanted y'all to say that so I could come back
good.
nowadays.
We're done.
Agreed. It's
not
not
even.
gonna be. But how can we take steps to maybe practice that or be better at that? Like, can we ever get to that
like,
point?
is there a reason why it shouldn't be?
Right. Is there a reason why we keep, like, what is it?
Because a good chunk of why I feel that happened because women aren't trying to listen.
Okay.
They're trying to change.
Okay.
We are listening. We're
No, you
communicating.
hear. But listening, and listening to me also applies understanding, digestion, and execution.
Does listening also mean without the men saying anything, we're listening to the
Yes.
silence? We're listening to the silence.
It's like, no, it's music.
Okay.
It doesn't have to talk. It's listening to a language.
Okay.
You don't have to understand it to understand what's being conveyed by it.
Okay.
It's surrounding terms. It's a word can mean something, but that's black and white. But if you surround it, hey, shut the fuck up. Hey man, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
They're different.
Yeah.
You guys aren't listening to all the clues around the word. You just want it to be black and white. And we know this world ain't like that. Everybody comes from a different block with a different understanding. Not everybody comes from a two-person bet hole where the mom holds it down. Some moms weren't there. Some moms on a crack pipe. Some dad ran out. Some dad has 6 kids. Some people. How are we asking that person that we meet in this random place, in this random world, to be understanding of the dynamic that we grew up on our block with our home address, with our religion, with our race, with our culture? Guys,
I don't think they can be without a conversation, but you have a conversation about it. Like, I didn't understand where my ex-boyfriend came from until we sat down in therapy, and he said, okay, A, B, and C is why I made decision D, E, and F.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, now I get it. You know, it doesn't excuse it, but I understand where you're coming from.
do you
But
think
when-
that's possible without having a discussion? Do you think it's possible for you to read somebody
You
with that
have to
decision?
have a conversation about it.
It won't
I don't
happen.
think it just happens.
So how are you supposed to
Absolutely.
read that without a conversation?
Energy.
The same.
Energy.
You can read a lot.
I'm telling
What a lot
y'all.
of men say to me is, English, I can't, what do they say to me?
I can't read you.
I can't read you unless
Boom.
you tell me. And it's all about my body language. It's about my
Yes.
face. It's about how I carry
Yes.
myself. It's how I present
Yes.
myself to you.
Yes.
It's the same way I do with men. I watch all of that.
It's the nonverbal communication.
That's the loudest.
So when you get to a
Girl,
point
you
in a
watching that
relationship
film.
where you're talking about getting serious with somebody, I
Mm-hmm.
think that you can't rely exclusively on that to carry your relationship.
If you're not good at that, then you can't.
But you have to
If
be.
you're good at nonverbal communication, then you can.
I don't think nonverbal communication is like a catch-all.
Well,
you have to.
But
be
it
verbal.
works.
you have to be
I mean, they're not all,
accepting
but you got to
of it.
understand, not all languages, with the words that we use with the English language, not all cultures even speak in this
Correct.
type of way that we're talking in order to know this is our person. It's a very West thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
So it's a very, like, Hispanic cultures are not sitting down and like breaking bread. It's like, hey man, I just wanted to let you know,
It's
you know, I'm not
very-
really understanding where you're going with it. Like it's very simple. Here it's complex.
Mm-hmm.
And it's making it difficult for us because now not only are we fighting what we used to be with our parents 40 years ago, but now we're adding entrepreneurs, high earning, expectations, people that are on social media getting all this attention. We're adding all these dynamics, and then it's not like it's developing the skill set for the women. And what I'm saying about the men is that a man is forced to understand a woman to attract him. A woman is not forced to learn a man to attract them. So in order for me to ever get a relationship,
Wait, say that again.
in order for me to ever get attention from a woman, I have to understand the woman to get it. A woman can never understand a man and always get attention from a man. The skill set's never developed. Oh, as I get older,
But women are not the aggressors typically, right?
well,
So-
right, and that's at a disadvantage because as you get older, now you don't know how to fight. You don't know how to compete.
Yeah, so women are used to being pursued.
Yeah, that's then what I said
Right.
earlier. It's the worst thing when you get older. It's good when you're young, and you get older, and now you start realizing, oh shit,
But
I
tell me
don't know how
about
to
it.
pursue.
Yeah, but now you don't understand. But I don't think I don't know.
Keep going, keep going.
I'm a little bit more conventional in the sense that
Scoot up to the mic.
I don't think it's necessarily the woman's place to be the
Oh,
pursuant.
now we got gender roles now. Now we got
true.
gender roles now.
It's
But now we go
true.
back. So it's like we want these gender roles to be
'Cause I love
suppressed
to
in
be-
certain
No.
areas.
I love to be feminine. I love to be feminine
In certain situations.
yeah, but like I don't want the fact that I'm a career woman. I don't want that to intimidate any man and make him feel like he can't pursue me because I'm successful.
Well,
but
you
I
just said
wanna be,
we
I
can't
wanna
go
be
to
feminine.
but we can't go to Roussan's.
I don't want to go to Roussan's. I
I
want to
know
go to Umi.
you want to Umi. There you go. He has to approach you a particular way, though. That's the key. We know it's not that it's your job and your career is necessarily intimidating. It's just he just know, hey man, I work at Walmart and she's not gonna fuck with me. So I just cut my losses early. And
But
so now,
that's assuming. You're
What-
assuming.
well, everybody on this planet makes assumptions.
I mean, correct. But
So,
shoot your shot. Give
but
it
the
a
human
chance.
nature would not say if human nature would not say if there were three
Correct.
dogs
I mean,
outside
I
to
get
jump
what you're
outside.
saying.
Like
Right.
it's natural. You make judgments to think. So you don't necessarily have to go through a brick wall to know that it's going to hurt. So that's what an assumption is, metaphorically. So you don't want him to not pursue you because you're successful, and you don't want that intimidating. But when do you start telling yourself that, damn, this actually might be intimidating? How can I combat that to let the guy that works at Walmart or Taco Bell, wherever it may be, shoot his shot? Maybe if I
think that's bullshit.
I'm not saying
I'm
it.
just going to tell you. I am not worried about downplaying my success to make somebody else
but
feel
you
comfortable.
but you're calling it down. But your success should never be intimidating to begin with,
Period.
Correct.
right?
So if
I
you're
don't
a guy and you're intimidated by me and you feel like you can't shoot your shot because you work at Walmart, that's on you. That's not on me.
Correct.
I got you,
That's
but
a personal.
Correct.
okay, you guys say it's personal, but don't you think that the reason that what makes somebody successful? It's the daily habits and practices that get them successful. Those are naturally going to be what? Aggressive, dominant, and things that make them successful.
They're also going to pursue a woman.
What's going to pursue them?
If you're aggressive in your career, if you're ambitious, you're also not going to have a problem like approaching a woman and making her feel like you're
Is
pursuing
that
her.
an assumption, or you just know that's a fact?
I think that's been my experience. So I can't make the assumption for
Would
all,
you say
all
general?
people,
But would you say in general though?
That's been my
empathy.
experience.
But in general, empathy.
So
So if he's not a high earner, you're just you assume that the guy works at Ace Hardware is 9 times out of 10 going to pursue the girl that works at is a emergency medicine doctor.
I've been pursued by people who have
But
been less successful.
but you have to think outside of what you remember. What you've experienced
of your
is one thing,
Yeah.
but what in general
I don't know. I couldn't speak to that. I don't know.
you
I
could.
just know what my experience
That's not
is.
true. You can speak outside of your experiences. I've never experienced world hunger, but I know what it probably feels like.
Exists.
Okay, so we don't have to experience. It's just critical thinking. You just got to be able to put yourself in a
Outside of the
situation and know.
box.
So you
So
know.
what's the question? What is it exactly?
So my question is, if you know, what would you, if a particular person is pursuing, what do you feel like would make somebody who is a good person, who may not be a entrepreneur or a high earner, what do you feel like? Do you feel like those guys shoot their shot at people above a socioeconomic status often?
Sure.
You think that's normal?
Why not?
No, it's not about why not. I'm talking about is it?